think the abbot had the best doll of desire.
I did not desire her. And I desire, many dolls.
Pretty much all the dolls. Why have we got a picture of Davian Martikov in our journal entries?
Have you?
Is it a reminder to give him the eyeball?
And I think I might have been there for ages when I was first toying with how to show art of people. I wanted to do it someone we definitely knew, as opposed to just a woman in the street, but the name is like Strahd's Mecha Bride.
In the sheet.
Yeah. There is also, after much moaning by me, well, not as a result of my moaning, a unidentified items thing.
Oh,
But it's a bit weird. I make the item, I click Mystify, and it creates a new item, which is a hidden version of that, which I can peek at. So it's a bit fiddly for me, but for you as players, you get an item in your bag, and then when you identify it, I reveal it.
Ace.
So yeah, tell me when Halvor's back, because he waited until I clicked stream for our 800 viewers, Lindsay, before he then decided to go and get his pizza out the oven.
Where or is there a section? You were saying that there's a section where we can add journal entries. Was that a lie?
No, you should. I think it's a permission thing. You change. You can add your own journal entries. So if you don't have the option if you don't have a create entry button on the journal screen, I just need to update your permissions. But yes, I can certainly make a folder called Bartenderless's permission. No.
Will that be? Is that a shareable one, or is it my private sneaky?
Either or. You can have both if you want them separately.
I've just clicked on Jenny's shack and it comes up as a smell ramshackle hut.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Where's Jenny's hut?
I don't know how you found your way to that, Cora. You searched for Yenny or something in the journals.
No, I've got World Anvil and Places, and in Places there's Velaki, and then Jenny's hut is like 5-6 down.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's because for those map pins on the Velaki map, you have access to all of those journal entries, so they show up in here.
Why is there Lasaga's hut?
There shouldn't.
I'm back.
Be. Where is that? Oh. Do you know what? If I'd thought about it for a second, I'd have known that there couldn't be.
Name it that. Oh, you are a doll.
I called it Lasaga's family fuck bunker.
Nice.
Okay, so who wants to remind me what happened to you last time?
What didn't?
All the things. We had a fight. It did not go as well as intended.
We started off in that place, didn't we? In that old abandoned place that had all the flies. And then we decided to abandon that because we didn't like the flies. And then we came to somewhere way worse with things way worse than flies.
That's true.
My friend has described our session online as this is the session where they got spooked and then got fooked.
Nice. Spooked and fooked.
And Halvor died and he came back to life. And Cora died and she came back to life.
No one died, hitting zero, except Odo.
Yeah.
Falling to zero doesn't mean you die.
Odo.
Potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now another person down. Nobody has any spell slots. I don't think I've got any slots.
I think Cora's got a couple of level 1s, but basically nothing.
Yeah, the only things I can do with them are Hunter's Mark and Locate Object, I think.
Probably not even that. That's a higher level spell.
I have got...
Unless you've got it as an innate ability.
I've got 1/3 level spell. Yes, I kept my 1/3 level in case I needed to revivify anybody.
Sorry, I could do Absorb Elements as well. Hunter's Mark and Absorb Elements, that's it. Awesome. Locate Objects, level 2.
Woohoo! So... It is around 1:30 in the morning. Someone say something for me.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Excellent. So I'm just checking that you guys are coming through on the audio as well. Yeah, it's around 1:30 in the morning. You are fucked. You are tapped of a lot of things, and you are still in the swamp. You are surrounded by the stench of the bog air, and the flies are still. Allow me to demonstrate. The flies are out in force. Your allies are breathing raggedly, and you stand in the pitch black in the swamp. This is a matter of seconds after our last session failed, ended, where Halvor chopped up the corpse flower. Go. What do you want to do?
Are we going to still try and find that stone circle again? I'm not sure how much luck we'll have, but what other choice do we have?
I mean, we're heading there in the hopes that we can get it some nice rest, but I'm now thinking we're probably not going to get there. Do we just deal with the devil we know and stay put?
What? Sleep here?
I don't think we're going to sleep. But we
Maybe
could
not, but we're in the middle of nowhere. Anything could sneak up on us. At least let's get to a vantage point if it's an option.
Yeah,
We're already most of the way there, we hope, so let's at least give it a try, but we can't keep going all night, that's for sure.
I don't like the idea of staying here and surrounded by the water.
Yeah. All right. I'm kind of saying it loud because the flies are still buzzing around and keep wafting at my face. If we come across anything, we just got to keep moving. We can't stop. We can't fight it. We just got to go.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Nah. At that, I'm going to stand by Cora and say, and kind of hold on to my amulet and put my hand on it and say, Thender's eyes and guidance, bless you. And then I will cast guidance on her and hopefully help us get out of this shithole that we have no idea where we are now anyway. So yeah, this is the you roll a d4 when you're doing your skill checks.
Oh yeah, cool.
So, what are you? Where are you wanting to go, Cora?
Well, last time we said that we didn't really know where we were, so I don't really know how to describe it.
The river that we came, was it like just a slow moving river? You wouldn't hear it, would you?
No, you would not hear it. This is the slow moving phase of it. It gets a bit louder up north when you start to get to like the little rapids. It starts to head down towards Lake Zarovich, but at this point it's just a wide, slow moving, steady river.
Well, I think last time I was roughly heading in a direction that I thought was south, and we hadn't got so far that it would have confused me or would have made me think that we'd gone too far yet. So I guess I'll still head that way.
So you're trying to refine the direction that you were heading before.
Yep.
If we find the river, then we just follow it in one way. As long as we cross over, we follow it and we keep our eyes open, and we'll either potentially see the clearing, or we're going to walk so far north that we end up coming out of a res. Either way, at this point, I'm pretty fine.
You're crackling up quite badly.
I will change my settings.
Fine now. It was just near the end of whatever you were saying. So, Cora, you are surrounded by flies who are
Wonderful.
in and thick and buzzing, which would be disadvantage for obscured vision with just how endless they are. You also have a little bit of love from Bartandalis in the form of a D4. So make me a survival check. And you're looking to try and continue heading in what you feel is south, yeah?
Yes. Did I do that right?
Yeah.
Ah, look at me, adding a D4 on.
Disadvantage cost you a nat 20 there. That's a shame.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me a d12 as well, please. Okay. As you are traveling, you start to find the very slight sloping of the ground ahead of you, heading down. And just on the edge of your hearing as you're looking out into the foggy wall ahead of you, you feel like you do hear a couple of splashes.
It's looking good, guys. Keep going a little bit further.
As if it is a valley, then a river might be close by. Hopefully that's the case.
I will send Angelo out ahead. Let me see what the range is on him. The range, Angelo, the range. Right, so limited telepathy, 100 feet. Okay, so I'm going to send him just inside that range to kind of keep scouting ahead. He's obviously, I'm going to dim his light a little bit, but he can see. He's got dark vision of 60 feet as well. So I'll let him kind of scout ahead for us and let me know if he sees anything out of the ordinary before we reach it.
Okay. Continue that direction. Cora, make me another survival check with disadvantage. I presume you still have the effect of the D4.
Yeah, I'll just keep casting it every so often. I want to. It can go out to 100 feet, but if 100 feet, I can't still see his blue glow. Like anytime he kind of like drifts out, I'll kind of like tell him to come a little bit closer back. So I can
Okay.
find him.
Let me know a D12, please, Cora.
That's good. That 10's good.
Yeah.
Good for Bubble the Saga.
Every roll you make is just temp HP added there.
We've called it David Sanya too many times. That's what it is.
Yeah. So the slope starts to go down, and you are now able to hear very distantly the sounds of water flow ahead. No sign of Angelo yet. It's still a little ways ahead.
I can see his glow.
You can still see his glow, absolutely. Behind you, a sound is carrying through the mists as well.
That's a good point. What did we do with the music box last time?
We ignored it.
Oh no! You had the music.
Oh, you had it? Yeah.
We picked it up and read it, didn't we?
Yeah. Is it not in the bag of holding, or did you have it on your?
You threw it, didn't you?
No, I threw the head, but then we found the box on the other side of the door, and it had not a Blinksy on it or something.
Is no fun, is no Blinsky.
It's no funny, there's no Blinksy. Blinska. So I think we've got the box. I don't know whether.
I checked to make sure I don't have a box. Hopefully, I left it behind. I guess.
If you want to have left it behind, I think you had it, and then the door slammed, and then it was all action. So it's up to you if you wanted to have kept it with you or chucked it. It'd be whichever you want.
At the time, I was thinking I would crush it with my man hands.
You can certainly have crushed it with your man hands.
Well, that's even worse now, because now we can hear it again, and it's back.
And it's
You should have
behind
said
us.
there was nothing wrong with it. It was not destroyed, so now it's just even creepier, Halvor. Thank you.
Anytime.
Let's pick up the pace, guys. I don't like the sound of that thing.
Yeah. I'm presuming the flies are still buzzing like mad.
Oh yes. And as
Is
you're
that really loud or really close? If we can hear it over the flies.
yes,
Fair enough.
As you're going, you hear at pretty much your 4 and your 8 o'clock a pair of
How close did they sound?
they sounded less than 100 foot away.
I'm going to tell Angelo to do an arc around us, like kind of coming back, heading to the left, and then he's going to arc over to the right, see if he sees anything.
Okay, remind me, does he has dark? Does he have dark vision?
He has dark vision up to 60 feet. He has blind sight of 10 feet. He's
Okay.
obviously glows a little bit, and he has 7 hit points.
Make me a perception check with advantage, Van Halvor, just to go. But analyst just for his night vision, or you can roll it as him actually, with advantage if you've got access to his character sheet.
I do
Be
have
able to.
access to the Cool. 1 second. Ah! A wild Halvor appears.
I didn't know that I could do that. The show art appears for everyone.
Okay. As Angelo swoops back round, you just see those flashes in your mind briefly. They're not still images. You get sort of just blurs. You get gifs transmitted into your mind. You see in a swooping flyby what looks to be at least 10 more of the things you just fought at a lumbering jog behind you, following you about 100 foot behind.
And that was to the left, and you said we heard these noises from the left and the right.
But yeah, behind, yeah, as he swoops by, they're sort of closing in from your 4 and 8 o'clock behind you.
And is it those creatures that are making the noise then?
God, he didn't make any more noise when he was flying by.
Do I still have Norris?
No, he died of old age, didn't he?
No.
Yes, you still have Norris.
I did have a vague recollection that maybe he did die, but no, I'm good. It's because every week you tell me he's died.
I know. It's wishful thinking on my part.
I would like to tell Norris to. Actually, have you told us what you've seen with Angelo? Or not?
I was about to, yes, but let us. So I say, we got a load of those creatures following us, about a dozen or so. We got to move. They're closing in fast.
Keep going. Double time.
I'm going to ask Norris to do a swoop by past all of them and try and distract them and lead them in a different direction.
Ooh. Okay.
Sneakiness.
Yeah, so describe how you want him to do it.
So if there's like a line of them running forward, that's what I'm imagining. Is that right?
They're just a big mob. They're not
So
lined up they're like West Side Story. They're just a big gang legging it.
So I'd like him to start from sort of one side of the closest members of the group, and literally just go straight past their faces, sort of relatively quickly, but not so quick that they'd lose him, and lead him off to either the left or the right, depending on which side he swooped him. So say he swooped in from the left, lead them off towards their right.
Rip.
Yeah, I mean, he's got flyby, but he's flying past a lot of things there, and he only has 60-foot movement. So what I'm going to say is, you roll me a d20. If a 1 happens, if you get a 1, then somewhere along that line of harassing a group of more than 10 things that all have 2 attacks, a stray claw's getting him, because that is a lot of distracto magic you're hoping for there. There's not really an appropriate skill check for it, because it's not you deceiving it. So just roll me a d20, and we'll hope it isn't a 1.
Woo!
All day long.
1 actually fits into 8, though. So unfortunately...
8 claws hit him.
So yeah, he takes 8 attacks. Okay, he goes swooping past and harrying and just sort of flying in the face of these creatures. Yeah, and then what does he return to you?
No, he's
flies
sweeping off, isn't
as
he?
far away as he can. 1,000 feet, I think, is as far away as I can send him. So that's as far as I'm sending him away from me.
Okay. In the meantime, because I presume if you're actively controlling him, then you're not leading the way and you're not moving forward and we're getting closer. So I'm presuming you've issued that as an order while you continue to be pushing ahead, Cora. So make me another survival check. Disadvantage plus a D4.
What's the advantage for?
Oh, no, sorry.
Disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage.
Shove her another D20.
20.
Okay.
Nice. 22. No, more than that. Yeah, 22.
You begin to see Cora through ahead the river, flowing from your right to your left. You can't see across it, whereas you could before. The water is in front of you.
I think we need to head right. Is that right, guys?
Say again. We need to cross over. Yeah, the thing was on the other side.
Cross over and head right.
That right would send us north.
No, we're heading south.
We came down from the north. We came down from the north. That's where Valaki was. So we started at the north of the river and headed south. Yeah?
I'm presuming Cora means the player character's rights.
Yeah, the player character's right. We're heading south now.
Right, but if we cross over the river and head right...
That's going to take us further in, which is where we found it, because we came back
No,
out.
because we're on the other side now. I don't know which side we're on, actually. No, we've only crossed the river once. Yeah?
I want to cross the river and head right.
I mean, if it's flowing from the right, then that would imply that Lake Zarovich is to our right.
So am I going the right way?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I mean, we're not sure, but I think so.
Cross the river and turn right.
So just to clarify, so Cora, facing the river, you want to go to Cora's right.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the wrong direction.
Is it?
So the river is flowing from your right to the left. So as you cross, it is sort of carrying you away from where you want to be going, Cora. So you have to sort of... I'm sure you wouldn't airport elevator against it. So it's a case of crossing over to the other shore and then heading right. You will have a water walking...
If we head right, we're going out of Berez.
Is that not the way you want to go?
I thought we were looking for the Fane.
Was that more in?
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know how far down river it was. It was a while, but...
Yeah, it depends which side we've come out now.
And also, actually, doesn't the river flow from...
It
flows into Berez?
Yeah. So
From the river? From the lake, I mean.
Yes.
I thought that it was flowing to the lake, and that if we wanted to leave, we could basically water walk and stand in the river, and we'd go all the way home. Is that not the case?
That is exactly what I said.
Okay, so it's flowing out of Berez.
So I am right. We want to go right.
Towards Lake Zarovich, which is why, when again I said before, it picks up later on the rapids down towards Lake Zarovich.
And I thought it was weird that a river would lead away from a lake and not to a lake.
Well, no, it's leading into a swamp, and a river would normally finish in a swamp.
Or a lake.
So it is, if we cross, then left is away from the swamp and towards home, but right might be towards the Fane, maybe?
Yes.
Which is far closer, we think.
Which we've no idea.
Yeah, we've got no idea of knowing how far along the river we are, really, do we?
No.
I'm sticking with my first answer.
No,
We're crossing and heading right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make it over... Well, it depends. Are you looking to cross entirely, or are you looking to walk on the river against the conveyor belt for a bit?
I
Probably
imagine
cross, right?
I'd imagine it's safer on the water if we could walk on the water, because other stuff's not going to walk on the river.
Well,
don't
the
know what's
giant
in the
frog was on
water.
the water.
There's giant crocodiles and stuff on the water, but should we just go near the edge? If there's stuff in the water, then the stuff in the water can't get us.
You
If
can
there's
get
stuff
killed by the things in both worlds.
I mean, we've no idea. Do you know what? I'm going to cast light on the coin, and Esmeralda had light, and I'm going to drop a coin into the water to see if I can see how far it sinks until, try and get a gauge of how deep the water is.
The coin drops for a matter of 5, 6 feet, and
Okay.
you just immediately see a mixture of, despite being a swamp and like fresh water, almost like kelp sort of coming up, and very visibly skeletons and far less decayed bodies carpeting the floor as far as the light reaches.
So we're walking across the water, not through the water?
Let's just go on the bank. Yeah, we'll go across. We're going to cross, and I'd say, walk on the adjacent bank. I don't know.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And as we're kind of like, we're keeping a steady pace, I imagine. I'm kind of like going to call, like if we're huddled together, because I don't want to keep shouting, but like calling over the flies. Like at some point we're going to have to stop so that I can cast my ritual for walking on the water again. The moment we get a breath, we need to do it because we can't afford for it to run out right in the middle of nowhere.
And as you say, kabloosh.
I imagine how long do you think we've just been traveling then?
It's 1:30 in the morning. You set off there quite dark. If you cast it leaving the place, I think you've got like 3-4 hours left on it at the moment.
It doesn't last that long. It lasts an hour.
Oh, I thought it was an 8-hour spell.
No.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, yeah. You would have had to have done it. It would be around very, very soon. You need to do it because you've travelled 2 hexes and we'll call them half an hour each. So it is pretty much Sonic drowning music at the moment on the water. In that case, I don't know why I thought it was an 8-hour one.
As I say it, our feet just start.
It's got to be absolutely instant. It's just got to be sudden from standing to under the water.
So we're across the water. Yeah, we're on the other bank.
Yeah.
Okay. And
the last step off for you, Bartandalus, it's like when you misjudge the depth of a puddle. The last step towards the shore, just your last foot sinks in and you made it off by a second.
And my heart lurches with it. We need to find somewhere to rest the moment we can. I need to cast a spell.
How long does it take?
10 minutes.
That comes echoing across the river from where you just were.
Can we still hear the music, or is that stopped now?
The music didn't seem to follow you over the water. It stopped. So you find now you have short to the left, short to the right, and looking ahead, only fog. Very few trees here as well. It's just pretty sparse.
So no cover. Brilliant.
So initially, we crossed the river to find the Fane,
Yes, we've crossed back.
and we've crossed back. So we're not going to find it now, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Because we crossed.
we're now back on the Fane side. We found the Fane, then we crossed the river to go to the buildings. So we've now crossed back over the river. So we're now on the side of the Fanes.
I thought we crossed the river to get to the Fane.
No, we saw the buildings from the Fane because we got to the river's edge and then we're like, should we cross over? And like, oh, what's that up there? Went up onto the hill, saw the buildings from the Fanes, and then went and crossed over.
Wasn't the Fane like a bifurcation of the river?
We all fucked. I should have been writing down some things, and I did not.
This campaign.
It doesn't look like there's going to be anywhere for us to rest anytime soon. So, shall Halvor and I just keep a lookout and you do your spell now?
I mean, I wouldn't do it so close to the river. There was that much stuff under there when I threw that light in.
What do you think? Should we just try and get out of Berez as quickly as possible? There's no shame in turning back and trying again when we're better prepared.
Just follow the river north.
Indeed. Better live to fight another day than to end our journey in the swamp.
Perhaps.
Just literally walking. It's going to take us hours. The odds that we don't meet anything on the way is slim.
Would you rather try and find more things, or
I'm thinking if the Fane there's a chance it's nearby, we give it a shot to try and find it first.
okay, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Did you want me to convince you otherwise?
You're going to be like, Cora!
Yup.
But you'll be dead, so I don't really care.
So, Cora, are you doing your spell now, Bothandalus? Are you guarding him, or are you just pressing on for the time
No, I
being?
think we need to move in a little bit. I think we need to move away from this area.
Okay, Cora, with your back to the river, so you have just arrived on the shoreline. Which direction to Cora are you wanting to go?
Right.
Okay. Make me a disadvantageous plus D4 survival check.
Oh, no!
Roll me a D12, please.
I don't want to.
You little smirky.
But you must.
Ooh, that was nearly a 1 as well. Oh.
You're saying it like one is worse, one might be best. When you're making a table, you kind of have the lowest things first. It's only as you start making the table that you go, oh, actually, yeah, that'd be really horrible. I'll put that in as well. And you have your worst ideas at the end.
It depends what kind of person you are. I don't think Andy works like that.
And then you scatter them through randomly. No. Following along the riverbank, the flies get thicker. And you find, unlike the previous ones before, Cora, as you're sort of pushing ahead, you feel one just sort of pinch at your neck, and you feel that wherever these flies are, although they look and sound the same, the flies are suddenly trying to have a little nibble, and they start descending on each of you and sort of biting away. I would like everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
We're about to get diseased.
Oh, man.
God, that dice roll was a journey. It was also
Angelo.
Angelo. It was also Angelo, not you.
No! Well, there you go. Oh,
What's your con save, Bartendless?
Oh, do you know, it's the same as Angelo's. Do you want me to roll again?
Yes.
Okay, we'll say Angelo was rolling as well, was it?
Do you know what? I'll take the first one. No.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As this is happening, Cora, you see ahead familiar stone steps rising up away from the river's edge.
Like up a hill?
Yes.
Oh.
Does everyone else see that? We're nearly there.
Go. Let's double time it.
I want Angelo to scout ahead with it to make sure there's nothing at the vein as we're going. He's gonna
Opposite tactics. He's like, let's double check it's safe. I'm like,
No,
let's run!
No, I think we should still definitely keep bolting it, but keep Angelo ahead of us so that we know if there's anything up there before we get up there.
Okay.
Can everyone else see it? Because maybe I'm hallucinating. I got a shit con throw.
Oh yeah, can we all see it?
You can all see it as you approach.
Okay. Angelo is up ahead.
he sees nothing. Well, he just sees what you saw last time. There's nothing. Nothing has changed.
Is it clear? Are there flies up there?
There are still some, but same as last time, they are noticeably thinner.
Okay, noticeably thinner sounds good.
Yeah, are you all ascending the mimic stairs?
Oh, yes.
Going up the stairs?
Hell yes, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, going up the large, naturally formed stone steps, you find yourself back at the circle of standing stones that make up the swamp fane. And I need to remove a few NPCs. Oh yeah, I like that with the drag add-on now. Yeah, cool.
Which thing?
The shows the distance automatically when you drag it out thing now.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I like that. So yes, you. Where are we? There we go. You make it up to the circle of standing stones, and
I'm
the
gonna-
flies are. Hold on, let me just move you all to the entrance. Don't want to presume what any of you are doing. Oh, his health needs very much adjusting.
I'm gonna bounce off a few radiant words and kill flies around us as we're kind of like drifting off.
Yep.
See if I can thin the herd a little bit more.
Yeah, and they are thinner up here, but as you're sort of standing up there, going up the steps, and the blood and the sweat is dripping off you, you can just even see from below just increasing numbers of flies seeming to marshal from the lower depths of the swamp and ascending up towards you.
Oh,
What, the flies are joining us?
yeah, they're following us.
Oh, God.
Well, this might be our best bet. Do we want to try and catch some rest? And if so, do you want to do so in the circle or maybe make use of the fire? I mean, I'm not sure lighting a fire might keep away flies, but it might also attract unwanted attention.
Yeah. Let's not attract anything to us any more than we need to. And I'll kind of like get Angelo to kind of like come over and land on my shoulders. And I'm gonna take out a coin and say Ladium is there. I'm gonna cast light on a copper coin, and I'm gonna bamf Angelo out. So I'm gonna kind of like keep the light, the coin kind of like tight in my hand a little bit, so it's like there's a bit of a glow out, but it's not like illuminating everywhere.
Cora would like to keep a watch on the floor and make sure there's no new tracks. There's only sort of human-looking tracks on the floor where we were here previously.
Okay, make me a survival check, please. And disadvantageous, obviously.
Still plus 1d4 or no?
Yep. The second Halvor and Bartandalis you enter the stone circle, you notice it. Less than a handful of flies enter.
Oh my god, praise be to the ladies three. Guys, come here. Even if the ladies three can only offer us a minimal protection, at least we might be able to get some rest while we're here.
And I'm gonna make a little hole, like just dig up a bit of soil, and I'm gonna place the coin in the middle of it so that it's like spilling out a little bit, but it's like not like, put a bit of soil over the top of it. I don't like 30-foot light blasting up in the air or anything. I just want it,
Okay, yeah.
considerably dimmed.
Cryal just falls to the floor and goes fetal and puts just like his head on his arm.
You look in dismay.
He just looks fucking knackered.
Yeah. Once I'm kind of like on the floor, like kind of like on my knees, and I bury the coin, and then I'll just sit down. I'm not even getting up. I'm just sitting down.
Take what respite you can, companions. I shall keep my eyes on the way.
And Sir Arthur just stands, both hands on his sword. Hasn't got his shield with him anymore. Just sword planted on the floor in front of him, both hands on it, staring back the way you came towards the steps.
Oh, fuck. Did we not pick up his shield? When I was ravenously murdering that big plant, did you not think, oh, maybe I will pick it up by myself after all?
I didn't think to, so I'm guessing he didn't think to.
Well,
I ain't
maybe he's
fudge
smarter than
slit.
you. Halvor goes and sits with Bartandalus in the circle.
Cora's headed over to this rock that's at 7 o'clock. And she puts her back to the wall and just sort of slides down it. And the intention is that she keeps a watch out with Sir Arthur, but she can't have her eyes open.
Okay. It is currently about 3:30 in the morning. In fact, no, it is 4 o'clock in the morning looking at Hex has travelled. What's the plan?
What do you guys think? Do you think we'll be able to get 8 hours of sleep? Or should we just try and rest up and then get out of here?
I'd say we get as much rest as we can before Sir Arthur alerts us that we need to get up again.
If we want to be well rested, we're going to need to rest until at least midday tomorrow.
I don't think if we wake up any soon, we'll be able to get out of here.
Quite possibly.
I'm just out of it. Just looking like we need to rest. Either to move on or to get out, but I don't want to get out. We know what we're looking for. We know that the buildings weren't that far away from here. We can travel better by the day, I hope. We go to the wall. That's the next step for us. But until we rest, we ain't going nowhere.
Very well. Let's rest.
It is not a pleasant rest. Halvor, are you still wearing your armor in Berez, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, so you will be getting only 3/4 of your hit die back. Are you looking to take a long rest?
I think so.
Okay. Surrounded by the stones in which those flies just seem... They do still enter, but by the middle, they seem to just be inclined to turn away or not go too far in. So after a couple of feet, it's only one or two that ever seem to make it across. You are afforded a sort of peace compared to everything else you've experienced in the swamp so far. Everyone make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh dear.
Okay. You all experience a long rest.
Does Cora seem fine?
She seems okay. Yeah. She manages
Malaria.
to doze off. She manages to fall asleep.
Bearer's aids.
So yeah, please mark yourselves off as having a long rest.
So just checking. I believe on a long rest you normally regain half spent hit dice, so I'll be regaining a quarter. What is a quarter of 9? Who knows? Actually, I've only spent 2, so a quarter of 1 would be 0.
Feel fresh as a daisy.
I'm amazed that we managed to get that.
Well, just so you know, I can't manually edit the number of hit dice I have to spend. But I will make a note of it.
We've got access to so many bears!
I got access. I ask Sir Arton to wake me up when dawn breaks, and then I'm going to sleep after it. But I'm going to pray to Lathander when some semblance of dawn can be seen, when it starts getting light again.
Once that slight silvering through the clouds begins, you just feel.
I only see in black and white.
You just feel a sharp rap on your shoulder, and just a single flat of the blade has been tapped on your shoulder, and Sir Arthur just nods and then returns back to his post.
And kind of just where I am. There's probably no holier place in Berez than this place, so I'm content here, and I'm kind of like I will say some tenets from the Holy Book of Lathander, and I kind of pray to him for an hour or two, and I'm going to rejig around some spells.
What's everyone else doing?
Sleeping!
Pretty much.
Okay. So, you see you're dozing back off after your... I know you'll be sorting your spells for a while, but you're dozing back off after your bout of prayer, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Gets to mid-morning, pushing late morning, and Cryal is the first to stir, and he gives you a gentle foot in the side, Halvor, to wake you.
I'm awoken. I rise and stand.
And he just goes around and boots or taps each person. Not in an unkind way. Just a gentle foot nudging.
Good to see we're all alive.
Cora just grunts and rolls away.
Oh, so you literally are just playing Lindsay.
Lindsay the lesbian.
A lesbian.
Day. Cryal grunts as he points across the river again.
Indeed, we don't have any time to waste. Shall we get moving?
And he just blinks, looking a bit overwhelmed by all the sudden words.
people who speak common. Shall we get moving? No reason to linger that I can think of.
Have we got rations? Food and
Let's
stuff.
say the same thing.
You didn't go to the shops to stock up on any in preparation for your mission, so you have what you had in your bags.
Shit.
But yes, thank you for reminding me. Everyone needs to mark off any rations that they have, lest we start discussing exhaustion, I believe it is, for rations.
Why did you say that?
I don't know.
Especially since I do have rations, so fuck off.
Of course you do.
Oh, I've got the mother's milk elixir, so that'll work for me.
Papa would have eaten his as soon as we set off. What are you talking about?
Well, you're supposed to eat every day. I'm just having a look if we've got anything. I mean, Cora can try and find food in this swamp region.
Yeah.
Totally would.
So, how many shall I mark off from the start of our journey?
But we ate
this-
before we set off, so this is
Yeah,
day.
yeah. So this is only the first time you're having to use them, Halvor.
How many rations do you have, Halvor? Can you feed the rest of the group?
I can't feed you.
That's fine. I've got mother's milk, and that lasts for 7 days, so I'm good.
Betty!
I believe an entry of rations is 1 day's worth of rations.
Yes.
I have 16.
Oh.
Nice.
How many shall I mark off if I'm also going to share it among the group, including potentially Esmeralda and Berryman?
Well, does he have any good berries or any food himself?
Esmeralda, as you sort of go to offer it to her, you see that she's sat there, just chewing on some hard tack of her own, who just shakes her head to you.
For sharing us.
Learn to plan better, Cora. I
Hey,
thought you were a survivalist.
would you be back here if it wasn't for me?
Cryal just, when he woke you, you saw that he was already chewing onto some sort of tuber and root.
Please,
Sir
Mr. Elbow.
Arthand scoffs.
I guess I give one of those to each of Poe and Cora then.
Okay, mark off.
I mean, Bartandalus, obviously.
Mark off 3 from your bag then.
Thanks, Dad.
Dad, are we there yet?
Never.
Watch out, this is anger, Dad.
We are there, but we wish we weren't.
So Esmeralda comes over. So what do we do today then? Do we head back to where we were and try to set up from there, or do we try a different point of entry?
I mean, our options are, if we want to get to the Wall of Skulls and we think that that is likely the way to go, then we more or less want to retrace our steps. We can stay on this side of the river for longer if we want, but we're just going to have to more or less go due,
No.
north.
Left and then north.
Yeah.
Do rations include water, DM? I think it's just food, isn't it?
No, just food.
I'm gonna crack out one of the kegs of wine. We'll all get a little bit merry, I imagine. Just enough just a sauce. I mean, unless anybody's gonna find some potable water in
Hey,
Perez.
there's a whole river down there. Drink from that.
So we're all gonna get day drunk and get a buzz on.
I've got a water skin. Is there water in
Have
it?
you ever refilled it in the campaign?
Yes.
2-week-old stagnant water. I mean, we could drink that water because we've got the cure disease stones, so I think we'll all be fine.
My consters have done. I'm looking forward to using those stones, to be honest.
Do you guys want me to just load up on healing spells?
Yeah.
I mean,
I've got Cure Wounds. I can do Healing Word, which is a worse version of Cure Wounds, but it's ranged. I've also got. I can do Aid, which will be a second level spell. I can cast it higher, and that gives us an additional 5 hit points for the day. So I could just burn that at a level 5 if you want, and just give us all a bunch of hit points.
but at the same time, is the best defense a good offense? If we kill everything, then we're alive.
This is true, Alvor. I mean, I always have Fireball prepared anyway. That's just I don't have to prepare that one. I've always got it. So that's my my go-to.
I mean, neither of us have any good healing spells, so yes, probably healing is good.
I've got Mass Healing Word like Cryal has, but it's I mean it's a shit spell. It's like 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier to 6 people. So it's good if everybody got KO'd and I needed to bring everybody back online, but then you'd all be back online and getting dropped again pretty much straight away.
Can we see whereabouts that noise is coming from? Is it still coming from the north? Does it seem like it's further away from us than it was before?
Make a perception check. Hard to tell. Echoed around the stones a little bit. Sounded far away though.
They're further away than it was because it seemed quite close, didn't it?
Correct.
I'm presuming I shouldn't load up Speak with Dead. It's handy to know stuff, but are we really gonna burn a level 3 spell to find stuff off an old farmer?
And also, you can
Not
pack it up and
today.
put it in a bag and talk to it another time, you know? I've also got speak with animals and speak with plants that might give us an idea of which direction we're heading, which we should have thought about before, maybe. Because they are innate spellcasting, which is nice.
I have a potential. I've got life transference, which I've never used. So I sacrifice some of my health to mend another creature's injuries. I take 4d8 necrotic damage, and I can target somebody, and they get twice the amount of damage that I take.
Well, if you're lucky enough to be uninjured, then that's fine.
Well, this is the thing. So it'd be like I could get Halvor potentially. I could give Halvor potentially 64 hit points. It would just nearly kill me in the process.
Win-win.
I feel like it's a bit of a Hail Mary spell. DM,
Yes.
would it be the amount rolled or the amount of damage taken? Oh yeah, no, it does say
Let me
twice
read.
the damage. No, it says
Okay.
twice the damage you take. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd literally have to use it at full. Oh, do you know? I don't think that's good for my kind of cleric. I think I'd just end up wiping myself out there. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
So
We
a
can
spell
carry on going.
sorted?
I'm gonna pick through these now, and I'll sort them out. I'll focus on some healing stuff.
Okay, so what's it to be, folks? Cora, I imagine, Pathfinder.
Yes. Do you want to stay this side of the river for longer, or cross back where we were and go that way? Perhaps fresh ground will be better than going back through those creatures. Mo, do you have any strong opinions? Okay.
Navigator, not caring all of a sudden.
She's gone to get
Of course she
biscuits.
has. Of course.
So we will head east back the way we came, and then we will cross the river when I say so.
Okay, so Halvor is now navigating. So Halvor, make me a survival check with disadvantage. As you descend the steps towards the river, the flies immediately recongregate.
Despite the fact that it's day now?
Mm-hmm.
Poe, you can help me find the way, right?
Sure. We'll. I'm assuming the mist and everything's back, so
Yeah.
it's. I don't know how high Angelo would have to go to be above the mist for him to see the buildings. Is it like once you go up into the mist, it's like it is mist forever. Forget about it.
It is mist forever, but it is thinner. It is certainly thinner up here. That's how you were able to see across yesterday to the ruins. And the ruins are pretty much due north of this stone circle.
So I'm saying if I keep Angelo up in the air, can he kind of guide us a little bit better? Or would he lose vision within 100 feet? Once we're down, once we've left here, and we're kind of heading towards the rough area that we think we're going,
Yeah?
because the buildings are really large, aren't they? They come out of the mist.
Yeah.
So he would be able to fly above the mist and direct us to there at least.
Certainly, yeah. You could be navigating with advantage with that.
Cool. Then we shall do that, and I will cast guidance on Halvor as well, who will get a d4.
Okay. And are you water walking again?
Yes,
you'll
we'll
become-
do that. I will make sure that is still prepped, and we'll be doing that as we leave.
So, does by any chance him scouting through Angelo cancel out disadvantage or not?
No, it'll be advantageous. If you're heading north from here and crossing the river with Angelo as a beacon up in the air, despite the flies, that's so helpful that you will have advantage despite the flies. Because it's just a marker above you who can see it and is pretty much basically GPS.
Yeah, we've got, I figured it's because the buildings are so big. We've got a point of reference.
Yeah.
If you're trying to head anywhere else, you can't see anything else, pretty much.
Yeah. Where are we? So, yes, you make it over the river and onto the bank. And Angelo continues to be sort of fluttering in the air up above. You get flashes, Bartandalus, that sort of show you as specks below and the vague outline of the buildings ahead through the mist. Still looking to be about a kilometre away.
Remember, we saw those creatures around here. Who knows where they are now? Keep your eyes peeled.
So if you're continuing with that sort of Halvor trudging ahead with Bartandalus's direction from what he's seeing from Angelo, make me another advantageous survival check. Roll me a d4, please, Halvor. Thank you. Okay. You see approaching. Damn, you shut this bloody thing up. You see approaching up ahead the outline of the building again. The same building you left last night.
Wow, that was relatively pain-free, eh?
A lot easier in the daylight, that's for sure.
Indeed, this place is a nightmare at night.
As we're kind of approaching, just let me check something. Yep. I put my hand to my amulet and say, Morning Lord, God of Light, provide us with your aid this day. And I'm going to cast Aid as a 5th level spell.
Ooh, what does it do at 5th level?
It's going to give me, Cora, and Halvor an additional 25 hit points.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's for 8 hours. So your temporary hit point total is now 25. Higher.
That is big dick, that. So you know how to apply that in your character sheets, yeah?
Yep.
By yep, you mean yes, Halvor has just told me.
No, I did it on my own.
Wow.
Actually, because this is aid, do we need to do plus 25 temp and plus 25 max?
Oh yeah, no, it puts it all up. It doesn't just do. So we're now an additional 25 hit points higher, all of us.
Yeah, but on your character sheet, there's the boxes for that, right? It would be the max and temp ones for this. I'm pretty sure it would be,
Yeah.
but both. So yeah, put it in both.
Does that not add 50 on there?
No, because
We'll see
no.
when we take damage.
Sometimes you can get temporary if it's just like a little bit of a shield, and once it's gone, it's gone. With this, it's temporarily raising your maximum HP as well. So you might lose for temp HP, but you can also get that temp HP back through healing.
So the max will still stay there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm not 100% sure how automated temper HP is because not a lot of effects don't do anything to it, so you might have to do it manually, but we'll deal with that when it comes.
Cool.
But yes, the let me just make sure there's nothing I need to change or update on it. Oh yeah, it's very nighttime on this map. And several more people to kill on it. Okay, and last thing, sorry. Okay. Just loading that map back up. So yes, did I hear someone say back in a sec? Who is here?
I'm here.
We are all here.
Oh, okay. So yes, you are approaching the entrance of the ruined building you were exploring yesterday.
What was the plan? Are we going to go and try and find the wall of heads?
We could do. While we're here, we could try and fight the Sturges if you wanted.
I don't really want to fight anything unless we have to. I think we should save all of our energy.
Well, then we can head to our right and try and head to the Wall of Skulls to the east.
Correct. Excellent navigation.
I'm making notes.
Doesn't just dress like Michael Palin. He acts like him too. So yeah, heading off from the east of the building, you do see at the edge of your vision the low, long, slightly curving away from you wall of skulls.
Does it all look as it did yesterday?
It does. I mean, you've only looked at it from afar, so there isn't a huge amount of detail to be gleaned or information. Do you wish to approach?
Well, standing here is not doing much, is it? So, yeah.
I mean, maybe you could send Norris.
Oh, yeah, whatever happened to him?
Don't say
He
that.
never
That's
came
inviting
back.
the GM.
He never came back.
Well, yeah, you said if you send him 1,000 foot, he just poofs away into his little universe, doesn't he? So,
You woke up. I don't think he does, but you woke up this
he?
morning and he was perched on the stone above you,
Oh, bless him.
dead.
No, he wouldn't be perched.
He wouldn't. He'd be
He's
non-existent.
been nailed to it like every other bird.
Yeah, go on then. How far away is this
About 60 foot.
wall? In that case, I will look through Norris's eyes and send him for a swoop over and see what we can see.
So, as he swoops over, it is a large. The wall curves away and creates a large open area in the middle. So, it's a circular wall. At the north end, there appears to be a single old rotten wood gate on it, which is still only low, about chest height. So yeah, a large wall of skulls with a single gate that sort of creates an area in the middle, which is slightly more just dirt than everywhere else you've seen so far. Still puddled and swampy, but a bit like a dirt patch area.
Maybe that could be the Garden of Berez. Maybe the Stone of Plant Growth is there.
There's no other buildings, or are there any footprints around that Norris can see?
Norris flying over is not making survival checks for footprints, I'm afraid.
He's an owl.
That
He
would
can
be
see
one
really
that
well.
that would be one that you're having to do yourself.
Hey, remember, they can hear a heartbeat even though the creature is underground.
The heartbeat of a footprint.
Of a shrew. Can he detect if there's any shrews?
He cannot.
Well, anything else you want to know about?
So is there anything in there? Is it just a circle with some dirt in?
From an initial swoop by, nothing immediately noticeable in there.
And like, what kind of diameter we're talking?
About 150 foot across. It's a big, big area.
It kind of concerns me that there's only one way in and out. I'm a little bit reluctant to go straight in. How tall do we think it is?
It's about 6 foot tall, he said.
Yeah,
6 foot. Sorry, I missed that.
And we could always go and peek over a bit closer. I can peek over the wall if I'm on my tiptoes.
Why do I think that this is going to be somewhere that we don't want to get trapped inside, you know? It's like something from Gladiator. They're going to make us fight to the death.
It's not a coliseum.
And that leads into next session, the Battle Royale. Cora, can Norris see any plants growing within it, or is it just dirt?
Let me check.
It was just dirt
Well, that's disappointing.
that he could see from his initial flyby I had once again.
So, is it stones with skulls on top, or is it all made of skulls?
It is all made of skulls.
Human-sized skulls?
Are these all? I feel like you're trying to pile everything into this flyby from Norris here.
Norris
The
continues to fly.
skulls you have seen from a distance in this relayed to you secondhand through a rapid flyby has revealed a number of humanoid skulls of varying shapes and sizes. I recommend not trying to bank on the familiar for even more information in this regard.
Well, shall we approach? I don't see what's gonna be keeping us back. I mean, yes, it looks sketchy, but we're in Berez.
I mean, we didn't see anything else around, did we? So it looks like it should be safe to approach, right?
Safe, yes, exactly.
As safe as it gets. Let's go.
You can't leave them. That's fair. I didn't know you could drag yourself off the map, actually. Cora just falls through the floor and enters the void. She dug through the bedrock. Yes, approaching Cora, you see various states of discolour in these skulls. Some of them are almost black, all the way up to just the typical sort of bleached bone of aged skeletons, and some even so white to look fresh. Most of them seem to be fully intact, and it is just like instead of bricks, there are these skulls, but doesn't even seem to be any sort of mortar between them. They're just held together in a wall-like shape. It's very much like the old sort of Roman style hedge walls we have here, just piles. Pre-Roman, I'm to say.
Nice.
The traditional boundary wall between farmers' fields.
Dry stone walling.
That was not wattle and daub.
No,
No.
dry stone.
Yeah.
Dry stones.
Yes. Dry
Telling
skull.
you, Laura.
Dry skull.
Dry skull.
Dry skull walling.
By the power of dry skull.
That's 3 skulls.
Okay. Do they look human, or are they different races?
They peel after, yeah. Make me a medicine check.
Are you joining us, Poe?
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought we were all together. I had to step away because the dog decided he was crying at the back door.
Come join me in the void.
Give me the flavour of how you're inspecting these. What are you looking for in particular? What are you doing with them? Just
I'm looking for elongated teeth. I'm looking for the kind of the shape of the brow that is significantly different to a classic human. Yeah, teeth and brows. Unless it's like a third eye socket on one of them.
oh. You are confident through looking through here that if you spend about 5 minutes looking down or along here, and you could have easily glanced over upwards of 500 skulls so far. There were a handful, maybe 4 or 5, of the more bleached looking skulls that have slight features similar to elvish skull physiology.
Okay. And I look at the group and say, I reckon that
1% of them.
1%, give or take 3 skulls, are probably dusk elves. They're pretty old. Been here, looks like longer than a lot of the others, so they're probably some of the first to contribute to this wall here. I'm presuming none of us have touched this wall as of yet.
No one's interacted with it. I presume you were just walking up and down having a look at your stuff, yeah.
We gotta presume this is the boundary to somewhere, right?
Well, it's a round wall. It's got like mud inside it.
I think you were away longer than I thought. Then, yeah, it's about 150 foot diameter. It's a round wall. It's only 6 foot high. You can see over it. It's like a large round wall, the single gate to the north, and just dirt inside.
Okay. I am going to. And we couldn't see anything. It's just dirt, just walls, and then dirt. No trees in there.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, do we go in? Doesn't seem like there's anything here.
I mean, there's all sorts of scary things that it could be, but I feel like there's very few things that it could be that would help us in any way. If it's a big empty circle, then is this where we're going to find the Babylon Saga? I doubt it.
I mean, maybe it's an illusion. Maybe we cross over the threshold and then we see when we go past the wall.
Well, do you want to try doing so from the front door or climb over the wall?
Oh, there's a gate.
Yes, to the,
To the
yes,
north.
yeah, I just said to the
Oh,
north
sorry,
there's a single gate.
Sorry, I missed that bit. I guess we go through the gate.
Very well. And so they headed to the gate.
So yeah, walking round to the north, there is a single rotten wood sort of sagging gate. We find a big sign. There is, I'll just give to all of you a pretty unpleasant smell in the air.
Does it smell like death?
It is. It smells just like decay and shit and stagnant water, and it is thick in the air. It isn't the stench in the same sense as like the undead. It isn't the smell of like the corpse flower, but it is just a dirty, dirty smell.
It feels like we've just found the Berez's sewer.
It's Baba's poop hole.
From like,
There's a pile of newspapers next to the gate.
does the dirt pretty much start the moment past the gate?
Yes.
Does it look like dirt? Or does it look like swamp or shit or... I will crouch down next to it to take a
Yeah,
look.
it looks like. Do you make me an investigation check? Are you still outside? Yeah. You're just
Yeah.
peering for the gate. Yeah. Make me an
Yeah,
investigation
I'm
check.
not crossing no thresholds just yet.
That's fine.
He's gonna lick it.
I don't think you couldn't cross the threshold anyway. No one's invited you.
Oh.
It's mostly dirt in there. You do see a couple of, at first, what you thought looked like large rocks, but you almost get a whiff of that the smell is coming more from those directions, and from the colour tone of it, you suspect it might actually be a big old pile of shit.
So this is just a shit pile. 150 feet of shit.
No. You see a couple of spots of shit in there.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say that would explain the flies. Jesus.
Can we see any other buildings, unlike either on the behind us now facing the gate or to our other side, to our left? So they would be, if there was the big building and then this, the other two sides of this. Any other constructions?
Make me a perception check. Disadvantage. No. Nothing else visible.
I am gonna say, look, I don't know what's going on in there. I don't know how solid that ground is, but I think we should at least take 10 minutes for me to cast the ability to water walk before we head in there.
Fine with me. Keep my boots cleaner.
And I'm batting away the flies. You say they're just the same as they were last night. They're like, now that they're here.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that these flies are more and more unnatural. I feel like they've been sent to harass us.
And you are also next to an enormous pile of shit.
Yeah, but they were the same as soon as we came off the hill, I
Yeah.
imagine, yeah?
Yeah.
Then I kind of like sit down, kind of spitting flies out, pull out my wizard's book, and I will start casting as a ritual water walk. 10 minutes.
Okay, while that's going on, Halvor and Cora, what are you both doing?
Keeping an eye out, pretty much. Hoping nothing creeps around or emerges from the bog.
I'm I'm going to inspect the skulls and see if there's any obvious trauma to them, see if I can work out how they died.
Okay, tell me how you're doing, Matt.
I'm walking up to the skulls and I'm sort of inspecting them all over, see if I can see any obvious cracks or see if any like bits of skull are missing or anything like that. See if there's any evidence of like trauma and anything piercing through the skulls or anything.
So the way they're sort of set in, we're all sort of set into the dry stone wall, as you put it, in sort of different angles. Not all of every skull's visible. Some parts you can see the front, some are just sort of like jaw from underneath. There's some that are just smooth round domes that you presume are just the top, like the crown of skulls, the crown of a skull. Are you taking any of them out, or are you just doing it all visually? What's happening with?
I'm a bit scared to touch them, so I'm probably just going to do it visually.
Okay, make me an investigation check then. Sorry, medicine.
Sorry, DM, from us setting off, because obviously I cast Water Walk before we crossed over the river, how many hexes did we travel through to get here?
You would have got it's ran out. Yeah, it's been an hour since you set off. Yeah, but you would. Okay. This is the first time you'd have to have redone it.
Sure.
Let me see about roll one. Yeah,
no.
Just trying to do it visually when there's bits of grime on some of it and we're all at different angles isn't really. It's not really easy to do any work with it, unfortunately. So it's hard to tell.
Ah, shucks.
That's all right. So yeah, 10 minutes passes if no one else is doing anything, and your spell completes, Barthandelus.
And then just before I close my spell book, I look at the walls and say, another 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic, see if it'll at least tell us if this is like a ward or something to keep us out.
Hey, we've got nothing else better to do.
And I look up, very conscious that how long it takes to pass time doing stuff. Let's try and make it quick, and I'm going to speed read. I'm going through my ritual. So it'll take another 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic, which obviously is 10 minutes of my hour's water walking.
Yeah. We're currently at about 1:30 in the afternoon, by the way. Just so you've got a reference. Halvor and Cora, what are you doing in the next 10 minutes then?
Halvor spends the majority of his time awkwardly shuffling about and just scanning the distance, really.
Okay, how about Cora?
Have we walked the perimeter yet of this?
No, the way you've described it to me, you've approached it, if the gate's at noon, you've approached it from 9 p.m. and just walked around to noon.
Cool. In that case, I will take a quick walk of the perimeter. See if there's anything of interest anywhere.
Given it's like 150-foot diameter, just so you know, that will take you quite away from the group. As they are at the gate. You'll be 150 foot away from them.
Indeed, I will.
Okay, yeah. Ez will come with you, I think.
Thanks, Ez.
So, what are you looking for while you're walking around?
Anything that's out of the ordinary, any carvings or anything that might be symbols, anything that could indicate that this was made for any specific purpose.
Okay, make me a perception check as you're walking around.
Oh, about time.
Nice. There's nothing significant or any different about this wall through any extent of it, any part of it as you pass around that looks for any purpose. You do see and smell several more particularly foul areas around the outside. As you get to the south side, two things happen. Firstly, behind you, to the south, in the mists, you begin to hear the sound of a music box coming through again. And you also see on the wall in front of you, sort of wedged in between two of the skulls, what looks to be a tuft of straw or fur, some sort of wiry, dark copper fibre that is wedged tightly in between two of the skulls.
What do you think, Ez? Should we try and pull it out and see what it is, or is it too risky?
It's up to you. It could dislodge some skulls, I suppose. I don't know. You didn't want to touch it before. I don't see how we get out without touching. Do we know? Oh. Do we know what it is, or is it relevant?
Who knows? Unless
And
we try and pull it out.
you can hear this behind us, yes? And you sort of casting an eye back behind it with her axe drawn.
Yeah, maybe we just head back, hey?
I'll follow your lead.
And picking up pace, we walk back towards the rest of the group and report our findings.
Okay, are you getting back? Unless you're doing anything else, Halvor, then Bartandalis' spell is completing.
I'm doing the bodyguard act.
Insight, whether it's the real Esmeralda and Cora, doppelgangers. They stepped into the mist and come back as two other people. Yeah, oh god. They arrive back and then Cora and Esmeralda arrive back. Do I sense any magic?
You do. From the wall.
Shock horror.
And you get a sense of abjuration magic from it.
Abjuration magic. Abjuration is wards and stuff, yeah? Okay. And I look at the group and say, abjuration magic, that's like protective spells and things like that, making magical barriers or things like that. It can harm trespassers. It could banish people. It could do a whole lot depending on what exactly has been put on here. This is somewhere that somebody wasn't supposed to go.
Is that somebody else?
Could be.
There was something stuck in the wall back there. It looked like it was coppery kind of hair or fur.
Coppery hair. What, like red hair?
I mean, it looked copper colored. I didn't really want to touch it and get too close.
Well, let's head around. See if I pick up anything else. But I'm betting you a gold piece that we're going to find ourselves a little Irina doll.
I mean, if this wall has protective magic, perhaps touching it is a bad idea.
Perhaps.
That wasn't the only thing we found down there. The music box came back.
Bartandalis visibly kind of like steels himself and his jaw clenches. Look, it's going to keep following us. At least the more we hear it, hopefully the more we'll get used to it. Come on, let's try and get around and check it out and decide if we're going to get in before the spell wears off. Let's try and get some miles out of it. Where did that come from, DM? We don't know.
Check. Bartandalis.
Oh, is it because I said it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I now count 10,002. It's just seeing that.
Normal?
Yep.
Or disadvantage with the flies?
No, normal. It's so close, but it doesn't matter. East.
That's irrelevant to me. Okay.
Yeah, do you know what? If you're
Towards
standing...
the river or towards the building or... Other side of the
Parallel to the river, actually. If you're standing facing the gates of this goat pen, it is off to your left.
Okay.
So yeah, you want to patrol around to the point that Cora was telling you about?
Yeah, and see if I pick up any other magic along the way.
Yeah, you get the same abjuration, and then Cora, you recognise that you're approaching the spot.
It was somewhere around here.
And you see, wedged in between two of the skulls on the top. It's at the very, very top of the wall. A small tuft of this coppery red, wiry hair.
I knew I'd forget to attune to my gloves of missile snaring when we took a rest. First thing I fucking said. Okay. Just have a look if I've got anything. I don't know. Are we going in or are we not?
What have we got to gain from going in there?
I don't know, but someone just wants to keep people out. There's powerful magic that's been put on here.
Unless Babala Saga's in there, which I can't
That's-
see that she would be, then what have we got to gain from it? I think we leave it.
But she could be in there. That's the point. If you put a protection spell to ward people away, there's something you don't want folk to know about. And I'll be quite honest, this many skulls doesn't seem like it was put here by somebody benevolent wanting to warn all us do-gooders not to go in here because it's so dangerous. This seems like a keep the hell away from mass, get out mass swamp.
Do you want me to go first?
I say we blast this wall, blast a hole in this wall.
At least then we've got 2 ways in and out.
How do we do that?
And I will
You're carrying some dynamite?
I will reach into my bag and pull out my flask of alchemist's fire.
Okay.
So it's not really going to blow it up, is it?
Yeah, it's more napalm than explosives. It's a wild fire.
I mean, if it's just skulls, there's nothing holding them together. Can't we just kick it down?
You want to touch it?
Can't we just throw things at it?
Quite probable. And look around. Is there any like big like fallen logs or anything?
It's a very, very sparse area, this.
I'll have a look in my bag of holding. Let's have a look what we've got.
I mean, Grond is laying on the floor, if you want to just bring up the wolf's head.
Bag of holding. What have I got in here? I have got keg, Valor Desire, Spyglass, Steel Mirror. Ain't
That very loudly comes from the north.
I ain't got much. Ain't got much. I say, do you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna kind of close my eyes, concentrate on Angelo, and he's gonna kind of spring off my shoulders, double back from us in a circle, and he's just gonna fly and careen straight at the wall.
Okay. So yeah, Angelo flits up. So what do you want to do? Just hit it.
Yeah, he's gonna just fly straight into it. I'm gonna start everybody backing away as Angelo's backing up. I'm gonna get him to go flying into it.
Okay.
Well,
What do you want him to do when he hits it?
I just want him to fly into it and try and knock in the wall over.
Okay. So he flies right. I imagine he does a little loop around you to gain a bit of momentum, and
Yep.
then just and he collides with the wall. He sort of bounces off it and flutters back a bit, like if it didn't kill birds to hit windows, what they probably do. He sort of flies back in sort of in shock, and then you see every single skull along the entire wall. Eyes glow, mouth opens, and the whole wall just this endless, horrific scream that just louder than anything you've heard so far just screams out into the swamp and continues and continues, and the wall just begins to crumble into the floor. A lot of noise happening, and after a few seconds, sound dies out.
Well, if they didn't know we were here before, they sure do now.
Did you say the walls crumbled? Is it gone?
The skulls have just all collapsed now. It's now just a pile of skulls. A big, big pile of skulls. Well, a long pile of skulls.
Is Angelo still alive? Did he take any damage?
Yeah, he's just fluttering there, looking a bit disgruntled.
Did he not take any damage? He's okay.
He's okay.
Okay.
I am going to try and enter the circle.
And as Halvor starts walking, I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder. I feel like we should back up for a while because that might attract everything in the swamp to this place. Should we not hold back for 20 minutes to see what gets attracted here?
I mean, you want to wait and observe, or you want to leave this area for a bit?
I think we hang back, give it a little space, and then see if stuff gets attracted here. And I'd say we should do it sooner rather than later.
So head back to the mansion?
No, not that far back. Just back into the trees a little bit. Take a bit of cover.
I mean, this is a very sparse area, and the mansion is only 60 feet away.
Oh, the mansion. I thought you meant our mansion. I was like, no, let's not go back to our mansion. Because I thought it was a church when we went in the first time, and then it loaded up as a mansion map. And there was a lot of pews for a mansion. Yeah, all right. Let's double back that way, and we'll try and keep an eye on it.
Okay. So you're heading back over to the mansion, and then what you do when you get there?
How far away is the mansion from the wall?
60 foot.
60 from the thingy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave Angelo here floating around while we head to the thing because I can telepathically speak to him within 100 feet.
Okay. Are you all entering the mansion, or are you all just waiting near the wall? What are you doing when you get there?
We're all doing like a Scooby-Doo, lined up along the wall, peering just around it.
Yeah. that crumbled wall area. Well, actually, we're actually right next to the thing. We're actually on that map, so.
So these are stained glass windows, dusty old, old Saints windows. So you have full wall here. Yeah. So it's wall at the bottom, yeah.
There you go. Up here, in here.
Okay.
Peeking round at the line of heads.
And Angelo is all the way over here. Our man's not back in his cage, is he, or anything?
No.
That's good. I'm just gonna be sitting on here, concentrating with what Angelo might be trying to tell me.
Okay. Pretty much as soon as you get there, everyone make me perception checks, please. Halvor and Bartandalis, you hear rapid footsteps and sort of clatters and just general creaks to the north, and a couple of seconds later, 4 figures come sprinting around the building and heading off in the direction of the pen.
Okay.
They run sort of ramshackle, staggering, proper sort of 28 days later style sprinting. With the perception check through the mist, Halvor, you recognize these figures dressed in a very similar fashion to the scarecrows you've seen a couple of times.
Oh my god. Remember those scarecrows we saw? That was them.
I'm glad I set that one on fire then.
Is it worth me asking what you were going to say about Andalus? Were you going to try and use extract name?
No, I was gonna say, can we identify what they look like? So that kind of worked out quite well. We can. You see,
yeah, looking for. Go on.
we could just see the wall from here, couldn't we? Originally, like just through the mist.
Just the very edge of it, enough to know there was a wall there. But now looking through Angelo, where is Angelo? Is he sort of hovering above it? Is he hiding nearby?
It's kind of like if the mist is high, he's kind of like floating about in it.
Yeah, as he's sort of watching over the next sort of 2 minutes, from multiple different directions, no fewer than 15 scarecrows appear and step into the pen and then just seem to look around and seem unsure what to do next and eventually end up just planting themselves in the floor again.
So they've stayed nearby now because they weren't there before, were they?
They've all now remained in that pen.
So they've gone inside it. Okay, I relay that to the group. So well, better than being jumped from all sides, right?
Yeah, that was a good call.
I reckon give it another 15, 20 minutes tops, because we don't know how far out that scream went, and we don't know how long it's going to take for stuff to arrive here. Those could have just been in the vicinity.
So this water walking spell is going to have got a lot of use.
It thoughts if we had to run back across the river. Wait, at the shore, just give me 10 minutes. While this is going on, I will use minor illusion, and I'm going to kind of try and recreate the scene of the skull walls, and I'm going to kind of recreate it for Kryel to try and explain to him what's happening. And I kind of count 15 on my fingers of these scarecrows.
He nods and then he pulls out from in his robe his clay ziggurat and gives you a bit of a questioning look.
And I'll hold up, I'll point at it, hold up 5 questions, like with 5 fingers with a confused look, and then put one down to 4, like querying it, 3, and then tap it again.
He shrugs.
Okay.
He seems distracted by what's going on out there and looking at the illusion sort of dancing in front of you.
Sure. Do we want Kryel to be able to talk to us yet? I can't remember how long it lasts.
I don't think, unless we have any specific questions, that it'd be worth it.
Yeah. I feel like maybe when we come across Baba Saga, then that's the time that he wants to be able to communicate with us. And I point at the cigarette and I kind of like, I shake my head.
And he nods and tucks it away. And just sits peering out into the fog. So what are you doing while you're waiting? What's Cora up to at the moment?
She's still quite interested in what the hell went on out there, but she's not gonna go exploring because of her previous history with spiders. So she's probably just gonna wait. She's gonna do what she's told for once.
Okay. So sort of 15 minutes pass. No change.
I can't stand up and stretch, roll my shoulders like, we're going to go and burn some scarecrows.
Yeah, I mean, we can't wait here too long. We're gonna get stuck in the dark again if we're not careful.
Yeah. Let's
I
make a
mean-
point of, it's already getting later in the day. I think the moment that we even start feeling like it's dark, if this doesn't lead to anything.
Sorry to interrupt you. Angelo flashes into your mind as one. All the scarecrows start sprinting due north, and after a couple of seconds, you see and hear faint figures in the mist running past you from right to left.
And they're all running together.
Yes,
But they all came from a different direction, though, yeah?
they did.
I'm gonna. I want to see how Angelo works. Just give me 1 second.
Well, we
Rest-
can always
rest of
have
you
a
see
quick.
what's happening as well.
We can have a quick check of the shit heap, but what do you think? If the scarecrows go north, maybe that's the way that we should go.
So I've got limited telepathy with Angelo, but there's no range or anything on him. Do I know if he dies? Would I know?
Don't think so. Other than the fact that you're not able to bamf him back.
Bump him back. Okay. Then I will tell Angelo to follow them from a distance, and when they stop, wherever they're going, I want him to return to me and tell me what he's seen.
Okay. You see his pale blue light just off through the mist ahead, following the crowd.
Come on, now might be the time to go. I've got Angelo to follow them. Once they stop, they're all heading somewhere. Hopefully, he'll be able to tell us where.
Okay.
Let's go.
So where are you all going to?
Shit pile.
Okay. You get there, and it is a collapsed ring of skulls. Dirt inside. What are you looking for? What are you doing?
After the wall had collapsed, I didn't sense any magic from them anymore, did I?
No.
Okay.
So whatever happened to the copper hair thing?
Presumably now buried somewhere in part of that ring of skulls.
Do you want to make our way over to it? See
I
what
mean-
it was?
Yeah, it's the only thing that's really stuck out from the rest of it, so maybe it'll tell us more.
Did I detect any additional magic from that copper thing when we got there, DM?
You did not.
Okay. Then I say we walk straight across. Just walk, head to it on the other side, but we'll walk across the shit pile in the middle. Just walk through the area, unless people think otherwise.
No, straight there.
Yeah, why not?
The floor is thick mud. The smell is atrocious. It is absolutely foul smelling in there. But yeah, you cross uneventfully and get to the section of wall on the far side.
I'm going to keep casting the smell. I'm going to keep casting prestidigitation and casting the smell of roses inside my nose.
It
try and block
lasts
out
for like
some of it.
less than a second each time. It is mighty potent. And yeah, you make it to the section that you feel was the part that was concealing the hair. You can make an investigation check if you want to go rooting through the skulls trying to find it. Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay, make me an investigation check as you touch the skulls. Rooting around for, less than a minute, you find a tuft of damp, wiry, dark copper hair.
Is it attached to anything? Can I pull it out?
It's just loose between. It's a bundle that's sort of snipped off on one end, like it maybe was coarse and pulled. This wasn't like this isn't some like neatly braided lock tucked away.
Does
looks
it
like-
closely match either my hair or Halvor's hair?
I would give it an initial glance. No, it is very, very wiry and just stiff.
Didn't Halvor have some hair chopped off at one point and we thought it was weird?
He did most of
That
his
was
beard.
beard.
So this isn't. It's not bound or braided. It's just like
Nope.
a ripped off clump of hair.
Yes.
I think we should get moving. Which way do we want to go? Do we want to go north? It sounds dangerous, but if the scarecrows went that way, maybe it's for a reason.
Whatever
agree.
keeps making that noise is that way.
Yep. Maybe we need to head toward the noise.
We gotta head towards something.
You see in the distance a small speck of pale blue luminescence rapidly drifting towards you.
As soon as I see the blue light, I kind of like. I'm presuming he's within range to tell me what he saw.
And you get a brief image flash up of a large, wide, swampy area with a little island of earth in the middle on which there is a ramshackle cottage with thick gnarled roots reaching down into the water and many large cages hanging outside, which rattle and squirm with the form of countless distressed birds inside, except one which seems to have a small humanoid figure sat in.
Got him. I think Angelo's just stumbled upon Babala Saga.
Well, that's why we're here, right? Let's do it.
Yeah. I would like to. How many people are in our group now?
The
One,
three of
two.
you, Ez, Kryal, and Arfand.
Right. Okay. I
Six.
will tell everybody to stay close. We're gonna start heading back to the river, and as I start, even with some confusion, start trying to guide people. I would like to expend 2 charges of my Holy Symbol of Ravenkind to cast Mental Barrier for anyone who wears the Symbol of Ravenkind, gains the benefits of non-detection spell and is immune to psychic damage. As an action, the wearer can spend 2 charges to protect this effect in a 15-foot radius around themselves, protecting any other creatures.
Yep.
So-
So you just feel that. You all feel that slight sort of slow moving pulse out and you can kind of see, even though it's nothing, you sort of see it. It's like a ring of just heat vapor, or like a very slow, mild shockwave just pulses out from it. And you all just have a slight feeling of almost like a bit of a clarity of thought, or like some pressure being taken off from inside your head. And yeah, you are all under the effect of non-detection.
Stick close. Don't drift too far from me. I don't know how much this is gonna help. Maybe nothing at all. If she is the swamp, then she might see us no matter where we are. Or at least sense that there's a void. But it's all we got.
Okay. So which direction are you actually looking to head?
The way Angelo just came from, so that would be the north.
Okay.
And as we're going, what's your perception, Cora?
Oh, +6.
+6. Yours, Halvo?
9.
Ooh.
+9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will hand Halvor the spyglass. If we can try and get eyes and lay out the lay of the land, make a plan before we go in.
Very well. And as we start shaping up, I head into role of spotter and start trying to make out anything anytime we move up a little bit.
Okay. Are you having the same arrangement from Angelo before, of him sort of GPSing, or are you looking to be more stealth?
I'm going to bamf Angelo away, yeah. I think a blue light heading towards there is a bit too much.
I think it's just advantage on perception checks, isn't it?
I don't even know if it's an advantage or anything. I think it just lets you see further.
Fair enough.
I will have a look.
Yes, you are able to see further amounts of fog.
The spyglass. It has no details added to it, so... Oh, there we go. Objects viewed through spyglass are magnified to twice their size. Nice one. So I figured that once we can actually see, once the clearing's a little bit clearer, then it might become a little bit more useful. Peering into the hut or whatnot.
Yes. So if Halvor's spotting, is Cora navigating?
Yeah.
I will cast guidance upon Cora.
Yeah. And with the advantage, I know you've got rid of Angelo. So yeah, make me a. You know where you're going. You have a reference. The flies are out, but you have guidance. Just make it a flat survival check. There are multiple positive and negative factors at play, so just make it flat. But remember your D4 guidance.
Oh, so I still do have D4.
Ooh.
Okay. Some time passes.
Guys, I think we're going to a swamp cottage.
Really?
And you begin to notice a couple of the landmarks that Angelo's brief flash gave you. And yes, you come to a slight rise overlooking a large swampy area. You see the island and the small island in the middle with the cottage on. You see all the cages outside, and you also see a creature wading through the swamp water. It's moving slow, like ponderously, with a long tail and a very long neck, and it just sort of and a pair of tusks on the front, and it just seems to keep shoving its head under the water and coming up with just clumps of like just like swamp grass and foliage. Did that picture come up for you all?
It did.
Yeah.
It looks friendly enough.
And it's just grazing away.
Apart from the sharp tusks and the skulls it's standing on.
Does its hair look like it matches the clump of coppery hair that we've got?
I would say, from what you can see over here, it certainly looks to be the same colour.
Interesting.
Who knows? Maybe this is just Yenny's summer home.
And something else I would point out, outside of this cottage, surrounded by all these cages and these large gnarled roots, placed almost like a garden decoration out on the sort of muddy bank outside, is the large, unmistakable form of a dragon's skull.
Ooh.
That's one of our quests.
How large is this dragon's skull?
About 10, 15 foot long.
That seems like it'd be really easy to carry through the swamp.
Just want to let you know, I just had to close that image 20 times.
Oh,
Oh yeah, now it's doing it for me as well.
Yeah, me too.
that's
Oh,
weird. I
dear.
shan't do that again.
Ooh.
And oh wow. I will. Ooh, okay. I
There is
can
a
see
port.
all. Is this supposed to be open vision? We can see this far.
Yes,
Like,
except there is
the
an
mist
area.
cleared?
There is an area at the bottom left you are not able to see, because I would just like you to play ball with me and consider that no-go land.
Okay.
Because it's the perfect map, apart from whatever's down there.
That
Yeah,
bottomless
pretty
swamp over
much.
there.
Pretty much.
So that's not in the map. Okay. Yeah.
the bottom left. Just pretend that isn't part of the map.
Okay. That's
Is the whatever's in the center of the map? Hang on. So
that's the cottage.
oh, that's the cottage, and the top left is like some other ruined building.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I quietly whisper to Halvor. So this is in a whisper. I say, get an eyes on. Oh, actually, can we see the cage with the figure in it?
You can.
I ask for the spyglass then. Let me take a look.
I kind of don't want
yeah.
to show you the art in case it opens a
Hand it
thousand
to him.
times.
And I will try and see Caspian Valise, hopefully.
The art is much neater than what you see here, but there is imagine a caked in mud, dressed in rags, dishevelled, mucky-haired version of what I presume is meant to be a young Anduin Rin. But yeah, just has that popped up for you?
No,
Yes.
I hope it was only open but once.
it has.
Just the once.
Excellent. Yeah, just in a large cage which is held off the floor, and is just sort of sat, head slumped against the side of the bars, and you can see, even looking over there, the other cages around are just just absolutely packed, like Chinese wet market packed with ravens. What would you like to do? And as you're sort of looking out, the after the large beast just sticks its head, its long neck, into the swampy waters and roots them around it and pulls its head out and seems to chomp a big mouthful and just puts its head back and goes. Sticks its head back under.
Wow, that is a noisy boy.
Can hear him in the entire swamp.
Yeah.
What do you think? We could try and engage it from here. I mean, I'm almost certain that it's going to be a god beast of some description. Look at the size of it. I don't think that we're going to be able to sneak past it and deal with Babala Saga without getting past it. Unless we want to try and get all the way into the hut, and then it might not be able to follow us.
I mean, we're also assuming that it's the only one around here.
I mean, it's like 10 foot tall. I think we'd be able to see it if there was another one.
But like you say, we can hear it all over the swamp.
That's true, but if there are others, they're at least not here right now.
I mean, looking at the size of that thing, in general, you don't get creatures that big grouping together. They're kind of apex.
Like cows,
Oh yeah, this is
elephants.
10-foot tall. This is a predator.
Aurochs.
Like herd animals grouped together, but
I mean,
That-
it sounded pretty elephant, and it didn't look that much not like an elephant.
I mean, do we think that that's a cow, just a giant cow, or do we think it's likely that that thing's gonna try and kill us when it sees us?
Bartandalus, make me an intelligence check.
I'd love to make an intelligence check.
What's buy the light for, Halvor?
And win.
With
Oh, he's so intelligent.
you recall all the information you read about a creature that matches this description in your book,
Oh,
A
did I?
Guide to Berez Farming.
Sweet. What was
This
what
is
was
a
it?
catoblepas.
What do we know about him?
Like a bubbler who?
A catoblepas. You know that this is a large, very dangerous oh, I've said it as the creature. My name is Catoblepas. You know that they are like awful detritus, omnivorous. They are just filthy, powerful creatures. Like one of the most powerful scavengers and just detrivores going. They are said to be able to kill with a stare.
I will pass this on. They're said to be able to kill with a stare.
Let's not look at it then.
I mean, we could try and keep to its back and sneak into the hut. What do you think?
Or we could do a Harry Potter and stab it in the eyes with my owl.
That is a thing. Actually, the owl can't attack, so no.
Oh, sorry, Botanus, you'd also know that although catoblepas are rarely seen, amongst those who've heard of them or have reason to talk about them, you'll know that it's an old legend that hags and witches like to milk catoblepas for the flavourful death cheese it can
Milk them
create.
like a cow.
Death cow?
Death cow. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of their kill you with a stare.
Well, I feel like our options are this. We can either try and kill it as quickly as we can, so that if Babala Saga comes out of the hut or something, then hopefully the Catoblepas is dead, or we can try and sneak into the hut so that it can't follow us. But if we do end up fighting her, or she comes out, we'll end up fighting both.
I would say the fact that that pen was warded the way it was, that there's no way that that house isn't.
That's true. Plus, we saw the scarecrows around this way, and I haven't seen them. I grab the spyglass again and look around and see if I can spot any scarecrows in this vicinity.
Make a perception check.
Why did it sound like you were smiling then, DM?
Picking my nose, actually. No, you can't see any. There are no scarecrows in sight. They're all behind you. Nani?
We need to get the boy out as soon as possible.
Is the hut to scale? Is it very small?
It is.
The hut. They call it cottage, but really, it's a hut.
I mean, we could always leave him in there as long as possible if that's safest. But I mean,
I don't think it is.
I know that we could try and stealth our way in and break him out and then leave. But we also want to face Baba Saga, and we also want the skull. So I mean, I think there's going to be fighting here either way. Our choice is if we want to approach the hut first or the Kotoble Pass first.
I think if we double round the other side, draw the Kotoble Pass away from the hut, I could try and get close to the cage. I could still attack it from a distance, but it's gonna draw it away from there. I try and get to the hut, get the boy, and get him away from the danger. I don't want a lot of fighting to go on around him. By all we know, if Baba Saga knows who he is, and then I've come looking for him, which by the sounds of it she does, I don't want her using him as bait for me.
Well, we don't want to get too separated if we're trying to distract it. Do you want me to separate from the group and lure it away?
Well,
I probably can outrun it, or at least outrun you guys if necessary.
how
But
do
what
know
if you look at it, or it looks at you, however it works?
Then maybe I die.
Or maybe I shoot some arrows into its eyes?
I mean, it's difficult enough to hit a target at such a distance, let alone hit it in the eyes.
Not for me.
Hmm. Um,
I've got those charges. I can go 600 feet and guaranteed to get them.
That's true, but maybe it wouldn't be blinded by it.
because that's not how the mechanics of D&D 5e work. Halvor's very poetically trying to get around. Look, there's only one person here that might not be killed by it. It might only kill the living. It might not kill the dead. And I look over my shoulder at Sir Arthur.
And Sir Arthur sort of draws himself up and looking over towards the cottage for the first time seems to have the forethought to speak in a lowered tone.
Even if it meant my death, if valorous, it would not sway me from the course. What would you have me do, companions?
Just to check, the deal was, as far as we know, if he dies, he comes back. That's what we think happens, right?
They all come back a few weeks later, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's not straight away.
Well, then sure, let's send him.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, that's what, I hadn't got to the second point. So it's like, do we want to? I think we should send him to distract the Kotoble Pass.
Very well. If it fails, I will try and delay it from getting to the rest of you.
I think we need to fight it. I'm just saying we need to lure it away from the hut while I get to the boy. I think we should all fight it. Just let it head for Sir Arthur first. At least let it be facing him, so it's looking at him and not us.
Should we pass without the trace to approach from the south to the hut?
I don't think we should all go to the hut. I think we should all fight it away from the hut. I'm gonna go to the hut to get the boy out.
Okay. Well, I know you have your own ways of being undetected, so.
And we could still. do we have to stay with Cora for Pass Without a Trace? Or does
Yes.
it go on to us when she casts it?
You have to be within like 10 feet of her or something.
I mean, if we split up, then the non-detection stops working. We could all just try and get over first. Pass Without a Trace with non-detection, try and get to the boy and get him to safety before we fight the things we need to fight.
I mean, I think that might be our best chance at getting him out safely. And then we can always re-engage once he's in somewhere that's relatively safe. as safe as Berez gets.
What's it to be?
I think I feel like I need to give him a warning. I don't want him to suddenly start panicking the moment we go over. He's talked to me once, and at least now I'm in range that I can speak to him. But it might also give the game away.
Worth a shot, I think.
And I will just checking. Hold on. What's the range on message? I think it's 100 feet in it.
I think it's 120.
150. Oh.
120. So he is within range. I did count that before. Just double check. Yeah, so he's even within 100 feet.
Also, part of the new functionality of this drag distance is you can just put your mouse somewhere and then press control.
Oh, nice.
Instant measurement.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I will crouching low, take out my
Ah!
for help. I will take out my copper wire and I will whisper. I point my finger towards Caspian and say, "Caspian, it's me. I've come to help you. Don't panic. Don't look around. Just say, 'Help me,' quietly, if you understand."
You see him sort of jolt for a moment and begin to look around until you say, don't look around, and he just immediately puts his head back down. And after a moment, you hear like a. I suppose, would it be hoarse if it's like in his head, just like a.
Well, he's still whispering, but yeah, but then
Yeah.
he's coming to me and say, "Yeah,
Help me.
he understands. I think he's got clarity at least. Do we ask him for help? He has to say it out loud, so whoever's there might hear him speaking.
What do you mean?
Well, we could ask him, is there anybody in the hut? Is she gone? But if he starts speaking out, for him to reply to a message and reply back to me, he has to say it out loud.
Well, we've done it once. A yes or no answer could be useful to us.
Could we not just say to him to say no if there's nobody here and just keep silent if there is somebody there?
Okay.
Sure.
Get your logical, rational thinking out of here, Lindsay.
This is D&D. What are you doing?
I will
That's
say,
a great idea, Cora. Well done.
Tell you what.
Thanks.
I've got the spyglass, and I'll say, "Don't look around. I can see you. I'm here with friends. Is the witch nearby? Look up, yes. Down, no." And I'll look through the spyglass.
Slowly puts his head back on the bar, gazing upwards.
Ugh.
Do you have a good way of getting him out of the cage?
I mean, I can pick a lock. I mean, do they look like metal cages?
They do.
It's a
Maybe you can
cage.
just cast fireball on it.
Heat metal.
I mean, I know you can pick a lock, but if we're going to pick it, we're going to need to remain undetected for as long as it takes. I don't suppose you have the detect magic still, do you?
No, it takes me 10 minutes to cast it.
Because if the cages are also enchanted, we might have a bad time.
Kind of wishing I'd kept Dispel Magic prepped, which is what I had yesterday, and now I've removed it for today.
Maybe our best bet is to get me to go and sneak up there stealthily and try and unpick it with my thieves' tools.
We need the benefits of my amulet and your stealth. One without the other, I think we're going to be found straight away.
Then we go together.
Do you think the rest of us should go too, or should we remain here?
If I go, then the rest of you become detected, which might at least give a distraction. She might see you could cause a ruckus, and then I might be able to get over there unseen and unnoticed. I can even cast invisibility to get over there.
Very well. You and Cora stick together. Arthand will be the primary distraction for the beast, and I will be with Cryel and Esmeralda over here, and we can
I
support either
stop.
one of you if we need to.
I put my hand up to Halvor, and I look at Cryel and point the shape of the ziggurat. I think now might be the time that we tell him our plan.
He nods and pulls out his ziggurat and puts his head back and starts yelling the loud incantation. He sits there and scatters his sort of herbs and his stones in front of the floor, and the ziggurat picks up and spins for a moment before dropping back into his palm. And he sort of looks up at you and is like, "The witch is here, yes."
Yeah, she's nearby. I'm pretty sure she's going to be in the cottage. And I look at Caspian and say, is Lysaga, the witch, inside the cottage? Look up if yes, down if no.
He looks up.
She's inside. Is she alone?
He looks
Look.
down.
She's not alone.
Well, that's great. God knows who she might be with. Other hags?
You might just think it's Laura Stoneheart. We know that she's here. And I say, have you heard of Laura Stoneheart? Is she nearby?
He looks neither up nor down.
You don't know.
And when they were only halfway up.
What we doing?
That was creepy.
Didn't like that. Don't do that. I say, we're gonna come and get you, kid. The moment we get you out, we're gonna have to run. All right? How deep is this? All deep water around here?
Hard to tell. You know that
I mean,
creature
the
is
creature-
quite... Yeah,
yeah.
that creature's sort of up to its chest height. So that maybe... But you even see that sort of dip and rise at parts. It looks like different areas of it, it's maybe between... It varies between being about 1 to 6 feet deep.
Do you have to concentrate on water walking?
No.
I think we should need water walking.
I mean, you only cast it when you've cast it about, what, 20 minutes ago, DM?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to fight for that long.
No,
So
we'll be dead or not by then.
We try and make it clear to the rest of the party, including Corial, that the two sneaks are going to try and sneak over. Sarathan will go north, and then Corial and I will remain here trying to hide behind some trees as the backup to rush in when necessary. And we ask Arthur to shout for backup if he needs it.
Do I lead the beast away? Do I engage it there? What would you have me do?
What do you think? We could get it to try and lure it far away from here.
Yeah.
Does seem sensible.
We'll do that, Arthur. Try and get it as far away from here as you can. If we lose track of you, then we'll meet you back at Argenvostalt.
Very well.
He draws his sword and puts it over his shoulder.
I shall wait for your signal.
And
I want to touch. Put my hand. I don't know if I don't think I necessarily have to, but I put my hand on Sir Artund, and I will cast Prestidigitation, and I want to make him smell like that field smelled like. So he smells like a nice, shitty moving detritus meal.
Okay. And he quite slowly and deliberately stalks off.
Okay, I'm going to move into position behind this tree, and hopefully I'll be joined by Esmeralda and Croyal.
I think we'll be all joining together, won't we? At the moment, because the moment I leave you guys, then the non-detection's gonna.
Well, it's already gone off Sir Arfand.
Yeah. Do you wanna? And I look at Cora. Let's go.
Okay. Are we being stealthy from now?
Yeah.
Do I need to
Okay.
cast something for stealthy
Ma-
or stealthy?
No, you cast. It's a spell that you cast, which I think gives you a +10 to the stealth check, if I remember rightly.
Cast without trace, yes.
Yes.
And I hadn't noticed before, although I don't think I've necessarily done many stealth checks. I have disadvantage on stealth when with half plate.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't need to place a template for it.
He said within 30 feet of me.
Yeah, but he's moving with you.
It's
Yeah.
not the case that anyone that was in 30 feet of me when it's cast gets to keep the stealth, no?
I thought it was.
It,
with you, to be honest.
radiates from you.
Yeah, it radiates from you. So it shouldn't really be placing a template there unless you're stealthily standing still.
No.
So yeah, you and Bartandalus can both make a stealth check, and we'll just stick 10 on it. So yeah, make your
Well, can
stealth
add it in the
check.
modifier anyway, can't we?
You can, yeah.
Oh god. So
Oh, I'm so stealthy!
good because you're gonna have to balance me out in a minute.
That may be 39 then.
So that's 39. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't add on the. Oh.
So I got 14
Yeah. Okay.
with her super stealth and our non-detection.
Okie doke. Well, your non-detection doesn't stop you from being a fucking lummox, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, head on
Although
over.
we're not moving. Well, we're not moving until the thing is distracted anyway. So this
Okay.
will be our move. This will be our roles for when we start moving, depending on what your boy does.
So, Sir Arthand, Halvor, if you're still looking through a spyglass, you see him wade out across the surface of the water and pretty much starts waving his sword at the beast. No noises out of him yet, but it does turn and face in his direction and just remains stood still for now, but facing up towards him.
Before we go anywhere, I thought I had thieves' tools, but I can't see them anymore.
I've got them. Don't worry.
Okay, good, thanks. Because I do have proficiency with thieves' tools.
As do I.
Okay, cool.
Although your dexterity is a lot higher than mine. So I will have these tools ready. Well, you've got your own, but you just not got them in for whatever reason. So I will let you do the thing, and I will cast guidance on you when we get there.
So the creature has turned away and is sort of stood in a face-off with Sir Arthand, who seems to not want to be yelling or anything yet, but is just basically doing a very, very Jeff Goldblum sort of with the flair, but with a sword.
How long do you think it'll take us to cross over this water, DM?
Less than a minute. It's what? Yeah, 65 feet. So like 12 seconds of your water walking. Let's say double speed if you go in stealth. So 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, let me check 1 second. First thing, I am absolutely going to cast invisibility on us both.
So I'm going to be casting this at a 3rd level to cast it on myself and Cora. We are invisibles.
Yep.
And then just as we set off, I'm going to touch Cora on her shoulder and send a guide you and cast guidance on her for that sweet, sweet 1d4 on these magically enchanted cages. And then I guess
Guidance shows as being a concentration
oh, okay, 1 second.
spell.
In that case, because invisibility is also concentration, so
Yeah.
I will not cast guidance then. Fucking balls. Check invisibility.
I think even with the cantrips, if you still click to cast them, it should it'll prompt you the concentration conflict.
Ah, okay, right, yeah, I didn't click it because I didn't realize it was concentration anyway. So, okay, so when you are invisible creature. Oh, where's that spell just disappeared to? I just deleted my spell somehow. Aces. Okay, right. Well, I don't know where I've just thrown my invisibility spell to.
In fact, it says the creature's location can be detected by any noise or tracks. Well, you're definitely not leaving tracks. So minimal noise, and you're good.
Yeah, and we've got non-detection.
I think he wants to lay off 4 or 5 more spells and conditions up here before you set up.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. If I'm approaching Babylon Saga, how about you fucking wind your neck in DM, right? Okay. Yeah. Then we shall move.
We're too scared to move.
Okay, go on then.
Go in. You come in.
Go on then. Stay within 15 feet, Cora. Ah!
And as you get closer, just all you can hear is just these ravens that are just clamoring in their cages and are clearly in some sort of huge distress. And you can see from where you are, Bartandalus, as you're approaching, just a rickety closed wooden door on the right-hand side here, facing the dragon skull.
That dragon skull's too small for being 10 feet down.
Oh, shut up. Fucking pedant.
We're there. There we go.
Such a dickhead. Okay, yeah. So you approach.
So, hand me the thieves' tools, Barty, and we'll see what we can do.
I would have already handed them to you prior to us setting off.
In that case, I'm going to put my fingers to my lips.
We're invisible.
Shit, yeah, no, okay. In that case, I'm just gonna undo the lock as best I can. What do you want me to roll?
It's Dex. So use your thieves' tools to unlock something.
Add your proficiency.
What?
5 dex and 4 proficiency, so it's a +9. Hang on, what are you pressing there? What have you rolled?
Rolling deck.
Yeah, but what did you click? Did you click ability check?
Yes, ability check.
So that'll include your 5 already, so just put 4.
So yeah, you can see there's a cage next to this, which is packed with ravens, and you could see around the back of the hut as you're coming over another cage that seemed to be in a similar state, and it is just like packed to the brim with just desperately flapping birds. You see there are 3 padlocks on this, sort of all bound with chains at different heights of the cage. The first one, matter of seconds, you just spring it right open. It unlocks easily.
We'll both do the next one. We'll both do one each. Now that I know that there's more than one, she can do the second one and I'll do the third one.
Okay. Make your checks.
So another one.
Yep. And you see the boy who just stinks like a prisoner is loath to. He just sort of leans forward a little bit and his eyes widen as he sees this padlock just fall open. Both of you have an uncomfortable moment where you sort of would glance to the other but can't see them. As Barthandelus, you're not able to just get yours to turn properly. Cora, you feel a very worrying bit of friction in yours, like your pin might be about to break if you push it any further. You have both failed to undo your respective locks.
Okay.
As the child sort of shifts, just sort of shuffles on his arse a bit to get a bit of a different vantage point. And you see him looking around, and the cage sort of sways ever so slightly. And again, all you can hear is just the deafening thunder of these birds.
We'll try again.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Cora, you don't manage to get yours done, but you manage to work the pin loose from that sort of horrible snag it seemed to be on before, but you still can't quite get it to turn. Barthandelus, you are just not getting anywhere with this, and the chain sort of is slipping around a bit as you're working on it, and I imagine you're glancing sort of frantically towards the house, and I imagine it must be distracting all these birds just screaming away around you as well. Starting to feel a panic a little bit.
At least they masked the noise a bit.
It's rather birds and flies.
They mask the noise, you're invisible so you can't be seen, and you're not leaving any traces. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm good. There's no doors on the side of this thing or anything, is there?
Or windows.
On the side of what? So,
Any windows on the side of the hut?
There is a window, but it is very bordered over.
Okay.
So you can see what used to be. At first, it would avoid almost like shutters from over the road. I'm going to say, but no, it is bordered.
As I'm preparing to have another go, I look up at the boy who can't see me, and I'm going to cast Extract Name on him. Can he make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yeah. Oh, I cut the sound off very suddenly. Did you say will as well then?
Yeah, Wilsdom.
Yeah, he failed.
Is this Caspin Valise?
His name is Caspin Valise.
Good fucking job, because fool me
Should've
once,
got
DM, shame on you. Okay.
I'm gonna have another try.
Did you say that there's nothing wrong with the locks or anything? They're not rusted or anything, are they? They're just good locks.
Yeah.
Why, have you got some WD-40 in your bag of holding?
I've got oil, so I wasn't sure whether that was going to help at all, but no, that's okay. Right.
Halvor.
Oh, God!
Halvor, you see the Cobble Pass start lumbering north at speed towards Sir Arthand.
Oh, it rolled up to a 20 then back off then.
And Sir Arthand sort of backs off, weapon ready, and yeah, the creature seems to... You see just this proper wake sort of spreading out behind it as the creature seems to go into a bit of like a low charge through the water towards Sir Arthand. Both of you fail again to undo these locks. And the cage is... You kind of having to like stop and steady the cage a bit as both of you working on it. It's starting to move a bit, and you see Caspin is starting to look around as his cage is being shook a little bit, and you under the clamour of all these ravens, you sort of hear, who is there? Is it you? What is happening?
And I will kind of put my hand through the cage and kind of just put my hand on his leg and like squeeze his legs tightly, and then like carry on and have another go.
And he just steals himself.
And I jizzed in my pen.
He just steals himself. Bartandalis, you spring the lock. A second one opens. As you sort of look to where Cora would be, as she's doing hers. And hers springs open. You see Cora in particular. All the ravens in the next cage, which seems to have only one lock on. Seeming to be, they're not sort of poking out at every direction. They're all trying to face towards you as they're passing through here. And Cora in particular, you just seem to feel a certain focus on you from these birds as they're desperately panicking and appealing through the bars to you. As the third and final lock on Caspan's cage does unlock.
I will.
All three locks are now undone.
I'm going to say to Bartandalis, what's going on with these birds? Shall I try and talk to them?
And I kind of like feel where she is, and I'm going to put my head like right next to her ear. Kind of like pull her in close. I'm like, there's something not right about him. But I think you're right. I feel like we should get him out, but I need to get this boy to safety. Do we get him out and come back?
Do you want to go alone?
My non-detection only works while you're with me.
You're pretty damn stealthy.
It's a different kind of...
Be quiet.
Let's get him out of the way then, and we'll come back for the birds if we have to.
Gonna open the gate and just grab the boy, and then while I'm still next to Cora, I'm gonna need your help lifting him. He can't walk on the water. I'm gonna just grab him. How old is he? I can't even remember. He's like 13 or something.
Yeah.
So he's like still a fair sized lad then.
He's very skinny.
Very skinny, very gaunt. I mean, I probably wouldn't try and carry him. We know what my previous efforts are like. So I'll kind of like pull him out. I imagine he's probably like so atrophied he can't even walk.
He just gasps as you sort of drag him out.
And I'm gonna try and put like his hand over my shoulder, and hopefully like kind of see whether Cora's getting his other arm over her shoulder.
Halvor, you see the weirdest fucking thing.
This boy looks like he's
This
been
kid's
crucified.
He's just a crucified kid. Starts floating.
So if we've got him, then we just start going. We start moving.
Okay. With the weight, with how light he is and the lack of resistance, and the two of you, I won't make you roll for this. So the two of you managed to bear him back over.
Oof, good. Just glad to be away from that fucking noise. That is loud.
It is.
Ooh. Bear with me 1 second. This may change things, DM.
What's happened has happened. You're not
Okay.
stuffing them back in the box.
No, it's
Oh,
it's
okay.
not that at all. I always think about it as spells. Okay, no. The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. I wasn't sure whether doing actions would. I was like, no, surely you can pick locks when you're invisible. So okay, yeah, we're fine.
Oh, yeah,
I wasn't
yeah, it's
sure-
an action.
yeah. Okay, that's fine. So we kind of bring him as I'm carrying him over. I'm like, I'm with friends. We're gonna protect you. Don't worry. And we'll kind of
Okay.
we'll get him over here. Does he look wounded? Does he look like he would benefit from a heal?
Make a medicine check. He doesn't appear to be wounded. He just doesn't appear to be in very good health. He looks gaunt. There's more bones showing on his arms and his face in particular. There's the slightest bit of fuzz of what would look like sort of prisoner beard to someone who doesn't need to shave yet. He's just got a bit of sorry looking peach fuzz, but is patchy in places. Got those sort of bare spots on the side where someone who shouldn't be allowed to class themselves as a full man isn't able to grow a proper beard. Sorry, Halvor. Or maybe it's filled in during quarantine. Who knows? So yeah, but he just generally looks a wreck.
Okay, then I will give him the mother's milk elixir. I'll give him a dose of it.
Okay.
To give him sufficient nutrition.
He sort of gags. He gets sort of gags for a second, but doesn't seem to have the will to fight it. And Kryal is immediately kneeling down and looking over this boy as well. I don't know. He's antlered man again now, I notice.
Antlered man. And
Do you think there's some information to be gained from trying to speak to those ravens? Because I could message them and speak with animals and try and see what I can do.
How far can it be for you to speak to them?
With message, I can do 120 feet.
That'd be worth it.
and even though I'm invisible, I'm kind of like I'm here next to you, Caspian. I kind of put my hand on him and.
Those ravens, there's something strange about them. You know anything about them?
She hates them. She comes out and kills them for fun, or eats them, or
Have you ever
tears them apart.
seen them try to attack her?
They try to peck at her when she comes out.
He said she's not alone. Who's she with?
There's another prisoner inside. A woman, I think.
Well, you don't know who it is.
I've never
Never
been
put a name?
inside. I've never seen them come outside, but I hear her taunting her.
What does she say? You know? Can you hear her through the birds?
She thanks her when the birds are quiet. She thanks her mockingly for her power.
Sounds like our girl.
Yeah.
And she tends to her child.
Her child?
Yes, there's also a baby inside.
Whose child? The Saga's child?
The witches.
What does this child look like?
I have not seen. I've
What do you
been
think?
stuck in that cage ever since I arrived here.
Do you think we need to leave someone to watch over Caspian, or do you think he can just secrete himself in the roots of the tree?
You're free. You are from Dubec.
Yes.
Yeah. I came a long way to find you. Your mother and father hired me.
Good. That is assuring to know. And you? He looks at Cora.
He doesn't. She's invisible.
He turns his head towards where Cora was. You are my kinsman, yes? I recognize your voice. Skybird Trill, am I not mistaken?
Yes.
Forgive me, I feel nauseous.
All right, just rest. You don't need to say much more. And I look at Halvor, even though he can't see me, and kind of like come up next to him, kind of like tap on his fingers, like, I think we need to release those birds. I think Cora and I should go back over. I think once they escape, that's going to be enough of a signal for the saga.
Very well. I can stay here. I can be with you in a flash.
Do we think we should try and take out the creature first before we have to fight it and her at the same time?
You mean the Contopodopolis?
I couldn't remember its name because we rolled a lot of dice. So.
Other than to successfully drone it north, it shouldn't be an issue.
Oh, is it gone really far off? I didn't even notice where the token
Yes.
was. Oh, okay.
It's chasing him now.
Is it? Is it?
He's at the
Excellent.
north boundary of the map.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. Okay, well, let's go and let these birds out of their cage and.
Was passive out of trace was 1 minute, wasn't it? But he's still invisible. What's invisibility?
Pass that
Is that a
trace
minute as
is
well?
an hour.
An
No, it's
hour.
an hour.
Nice. Was he invisibility?
No, that's an hour.
Okay, cool. You don't
yeah.
need to roll to get back over. Combination of invisibility, passive out of trace, not splashing through the water, non-detection, and raven noises. So
Excellent.
yeah, but you can both easily get back over.
You can have non-detection and invisibility and walk on water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because non-detection I don't have to cast. That's not
Yeah,
concentration.
it's an item
Water
feature.
walk isn't a concentration.
Jesus.
Invisibility is, but that's mine. And then pass without a trace is.
Yeah, it
What
is.
is Cora's?
I'm gonna be a fucking wizard next campaign.
Okay, so you both heading back over?
Yeah, as we're going over, I say to Cora, unlock the padlocks, but don't open the cages until we've got them all unlocked. Then we'll open them at the same time.
Okay, we're gonna try and stick close together again.
Yeah. We'll do one, then move along.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm saying to Caspin, bury yourself deep in these roots. If something goes down, the rest of us are going to charge in there and fight. We want you to stay hidden here until we return.
And you see him try, but he's just so feeble. He just makes this determined but pretty unimpressive attempt to just like he probably thinks he's shuffling backwards into the roots. He almost looks like he's sort of giving a bit of a woodlouse roll on his back for a second against the tree.
I place him in an appropriate position and throw some leaves on him.
Okay, yeah.
I've kind of like, me and Cora have got like hold of each other as we're walking across so we don't lose each other. And I'll kind of like pull her in, and as we're getting closer, say, you do this one. I'll move on to the next. But don't go the other direction. We've got to stay close to each other.
Okay.
Okay,
And
Cora.
so I'll go
Make
to this
your-
one.
Well, Bartandalus, as you get to about there, you see that there is another boarded window on the left-hand
Ooh.
side of the hut, but it has a couple of gaps between the slats just before you go rushing past it.
I am absolutely going to take a look inside there.
Okay.
Is
You
there just
are-
one? Sorry, go on.
No, go on, Cora.
I was just gonna ask if there's any one padlock on these, or are they?
Yeah.
There is,
still
yes.
three?
Yeah, on this one, there's only one. So first of all, Cora, make me your check. And Ben will talk about.
Yeah.
Instantly clicks open. Clearly, not as much effort went into good quality locks here as they did for the ones for Caspin. So Bartandalus, you have a cage in front of you, and also the cracked window, the crack in the boardings to the right.
Yeah, I will have a look.
Okay. You see a squalid, dingy little room. Sagging bed of just filthy quilts. A cot in the middle of the room. Well, you can't make out what's inside. You immediately see Babalasaga. She is stood next to a bathtub. Baba Lysaga is, well, rather than try and describe it, she's tall. She is taller than you might have thought, and she's not sort of squat. She isn't squat like you might have thought, but she is undeniably old.
Ooh.
And she stands there next to the bath. Oh, and she's next to this large metal bathtub, suspended from the ceiling over it. You see a underweight but still powerfully built feminine figure, arms bound behind the back, just chained and suspended from the ceiling, with, from what you can see here, appear to be meat hooks. Baba Lysaga approaches the bathtub and with a single finger just reaches up and rapidly swipes a finger, and it just cuts through the throat of this woman. And just blood starts to just come pouring like a torrent out into the bathtub. And Baba Lysaga just shrugs her robe off and it falls to the floor. And it's like old Melisandre times 100 Bartandalis. And as you see the steam, just even though it's quite warm in this swamp, even though steam is just rising from the tub, and Lysaga just steps into it and lowers herself down. This blood is pouring faster than any sort of tap should. It's like a proper torrent. And yeah, she lowers herself into the tub and just puts her head back. And that is what you see through the window.
Do I see the baby in there, did you say, sorry?
You don't. You do not.
I am horrified.
And the figure suspended from the ceiling is twitching as all this happens. What are you going to do? I'm aware of the time, so we'll make this little thing here with the ravens. We'll cap on that. So go on. What are you doing?
So when I was looking inside before she cut the thingy, before she cut her throat, because I already thought there was going to be some blood draining in there. Was there blood splashes in the bath before she cut her throat?
Oh yeah, the bath looks like red.
So it looks like she has cut this person's throat or whatever a few times then potentially. And she's like,
other people, yeah.
Or other people. Well, yeah, I suppose.
What was a follow-up question, May, you want to ask?
No, well, I'm presuming Laura Stoneheart, and maybe she can't die, and she just keeps like draining her blood, maybe, but we'll see. Okay. I will draw myself away, and I will turn to the other thing quickly.
So you've got a cage to unlock? Done. And from where you are, you can see a final cage just around the building.
I look around for like any slight crumpled grass from the weight of Cora as she's moving around.
She doesn't seem to be moving. Seems to still be next to her cage.
Okay.
I imagine if she unlocked it, she'd actually be more here,
Yeah.
I suppose.
So I'll kind of like grab her hand and try to usher her away from the thing so she doesn't try and have a look yet. And then I will kind of like draw her around. Yeah, I'll draw her around to the final cage.
I really feel that I should have automatically unlocked every single cage with my amazing dex check last time.
Double 20s in a row.
Yeah. Who's unlocking this one?
I will.
Roll away then. Please get a 1 after talking about big game. Unlocks. All 3 are unlocked. And the ravens are going berserk.
Are they just like flying away, or are they all just kind of
We haven't opened the
going
doors
mental?
yet. We haven't opened the doors yet. We're just flapping around like mad inside, yeah.
What did we say was the width I could open up my bag of holding?
It had been made
Basically, can I
wide
get
to
that
fit
in?
something in. Get what
Can I
in?
get the skull in? The skull.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I grab hold of Cora and pull her away from the cages and just whisper, "Follow me now, quickly." And I'm going to drag her back across the water, as she will come unresisting.
And
Oh, will she?
The birds are just crying. No, he said if she will. The
Oh, yeah,
birds
she
are
will.
just crying out. Roll me a perception check, Cora.
I think she just closed Foundry.
Jesus, Cora.
It's the shortcut on the desktop, Lindsay.
What a heavy-handed way to say you've had your allotted amount of fun today, Lindsay.
I pressed C and it closed the whole foundry.
Shall I roll it for you
Yes,
while
please.
I'm here? Even though you are invisible, these ravens seem to constantly be facing where you are. This is only to Cora.
Oh, I'm not gonna talk to them right now. I'm gonna wait till we're further away and see if I can message them because I don't really want to talk to them right now. Get distracted.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull Cora. I'm gonna go across the water.
You're not a type.
Nah.
And kind of like pick up the pace a little bit at the end and like, right, we've unlocked all the cages. I didn't want to let them out just yet. Lasaga's in there. I seen her. She's bathing in a bath of blood. She's got somebody suspended by chains above her. She just cut their throat. I don't know whether that person's dead. Any normal person would be, but she's either done it to a few different people, or she's done it to that person a few times. And I'm talking this would kill any other person. But I think we could have her now. I think she's unprepared. She's lying there. She doesn't know.
Anybody who's in a bath is unprepared. Let's do it.
And is that where we're going to pick up next week?
Yeah.
So I don't forget, and this is going to take me me and Cora out of invisibility. I am going to cast invisibility as a level 2 spell on Casper and tell him, "Don't move, stay here."
You can't see him because Halvor has made such a masterful net of leaves over him.
He's actually suffocating in there.
He can't get them off. He's that weak. He's like, "Help! These twigs and leaves. I can't get out."
Let me put a status on him then, so we remember immediately next week.
You could make him hidden.
Oh yeah. There we go. The most invisible of all. Okay. Well, an interesting session.
Berez is by far my favourite place.
I thought this would either be you missing her entirely or you spending almost all the session in here getting to it. So for me, it was like it just ended at the part I was like, yeah! I've been saying to people for about 4 weeks, I think this could be the no, I think this could be the nope.
I'm amazed we're alive. We spent the entirety of our dog walk today discussing alternative characters because we were just convinced we were dead.
There was a moment where Cora was entirely correct about which direction to be going, straight to the fade. It was perfect. But because Alex was so convincing, I was like, oh no. They're so close to it, but they're going to go the opposite direction.
I totally had in my head that the water flowed into the swamp, into Berez.
No, it goes through Lake Zarovich.
Yeah, I've got a good sense of direction. I know where I'm going. It's good.
She knows where she's going, just doesn't know where she's been.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Oh, easy there.
What?
I thought you were about to go Bon Jovi on us.
No, not at all.
So cages are unlocked. You've finally seen Baba Lysaga.
Oh no!
She is one
Wanted, dead or alive.
She is one fugly, creepy thing.
Is it just me, or does anyone else think that baby's going to be Irina reincarnated?
Not if it's been here. Wow, we don't know how long it's been here. I don't think they necessarily reincarnate that quickly, though.
Oh, that's why I asked what it looked like. If the kid was like, "Oh, this baby's got red hair," I'd be like, "Oh no, let's kill it now."
From what the abbot was saying, it was like generational, and Strahd was very much like, I'm gonna have to wait a while for her to come back. Oh, it might have been a while for her to become of age, but I feel like what the abbot said, like he noticed in the faces of people as they were getting older, generation after generation, but very well could just have an empty shell of a baby waiting for the soul to come into it. Is the the hag that I used for the boys, was that the Baba Lysaga artwork original?
The
DM.
heck, but what? Sorry.
Can you remember when I did the D&D thing for the boys, and I'd picked an image of a hag? But it was like a particular type of hag. It was like a Bashi or something like that. I'm sure you said that was the Lysaga artwork.
Well, was it this? Because
No.
this is the official book art. One of the few official book arts I actually like.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh no, you used a night hag, didn't you? I thought like a 5e
No.
night hag art, like the purple one, almost looks like genie-ish.
It's not a night hag. It's a type of hag, though.
Anise? Anise is the horrible big lumpy one.
I feel like it's like a Bashaba or something.
Yeah, there's an eye. It's not Behir, but there is a.
Oh yeah, no, it's a Behir. I think.
Is it? No, Behir is the blue.
No, that's the lizard.
Yeah. Hold on, I've got Forgotten Realms wiki up while I reminded myself what cartography classes actually
I've got it.
eat.
It's a Behir. Bheur.
Oh, so it is dead similar. Oh, right, okay. Let me have a look at Behir.
Which
Oh,
is
yeah,
so much
that
creepy.
one.
That is some creepy shit. That you would not want that appearing. I'd
What,
sooner
the
have the
Behir?
Saga. Yeah, I'd sooner have the Saga appearing than the Behir.
Oh, wow. You haven't got into combat with her yet.
Yeah, not seen her final form.
Yeah.
I'll show everybody. This is what the Behir looks like. That's like nightmare fuel, that one, for my children.
Wow, that is very Babadook-ish.
Oh, by the way, Halvor, big fan of the compendiums folder. It just automatically has collapsed it all for me. I am very happy with it.
It is much neater. Especially for the shit you don't actually ever want to use anyway.
What the? Bear with me. I'm going to cast invisibility now, so I don't, because I didn't cast it before.
Very good.
Get rid of the spell slot.
Okay, well, next week,
Hmm.
Fight Night.
I can't make next
Lysaga.
week.
Are you taking the piss?
I am.
Oh, good. Just because it'll be a big fight, please steel yourselves for a fight that may still be ongoing, so prepare to perhaps be asked to stick around a little bit longer. Just
Do we want to start? Can anyone start a little bit earlier?
Oh.
Or is 7:30 the start for you guys?
I could start earlier, but I think
I know
Lindsay
I can.
actually Lindsay's actually in the not the office, in the shop.
No, I might be okay. Let me have a look on my timetable 1 second.
I'm just figuring it might be better for you than
Yeah.
late.
I don't have Thomas next Monday, so I can start at
Maybe
5.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, Tuesday I don't have him. So yeah, so I could start from 5 onwards, but I know Halvor works until 6.
Yeah, we could start a bit earlier next week.
Okay. Should we all just check in for when we're available next Tuesday, and if everybody's around, then we'll start earlier?
Yeah.
We'll try and aim for a bit earlier.
Okay.
As long as you're prepared for the fact we will inevitably need to go get food.
Of course, yeah.
Of course. That happens anyway. What are you on about?
That is true.
Right,
just have to-
I haven't
we'll have
ended
to
the
order a
stream
pizza,
yet,
that's
guys. I haven't pressed end on the stream. Any parting words from any patrons before I close it?
If you are a patron of the Mad Cartographer, please don't leave
Sorry,
me this
is
month.
that the same? Is that the same Mad Cartographer who got a big shout out on the Twice Bitten stream?
It is the one and the same for making a high quality pit trap.
Why are you laughing, Mad Godfather? Right, I will end the stream then. So anyone watching, we will see you
Bye,
next
all.
week to die.
Oh no.